Sometimes my personality spitting for nothing, cause everybody's addicted to something. What you living with, I zone out and listen to the city. Therapeutic music, keep the users in the frenzy. Don't they know the house always wins? Whatever wager, I'm sure you can't afford it, so understand it's important. Kinda wild, the way I put it on it, just smile.
Peace to the brothers and sisters of the Leaf. Live from 215, it's me, Cool Guy P. And I am back. As you can see, I'm not in the studio. I'm at the crib. But welcome back to another Smoking Sundays, a special Smoking Sundays. As you can see, I am joined by two special guests. These are a few of my uncles. So, like, when I say a few, I really mean a few because I have a lot of them. But to my right, I have commercial pilot, my uncle, Napoleon Brown, my guy.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to Smoking Sundays.
Thank you,
Appreciate
sir. Thank you for
stopping
having
by.
me. Thank you.
Next to him, you have seen the trailer for my upcoming film, From Prison to Polished. This is another uncle, one of my close mentors, author, motivational speaker, stand-up guy, and I had a lot more to say, but I'll just leave it at that. My other uncle, Calvin Purnell Jr. Uncle.
Hey,
How are you? No, we don't.
Oh, that's
handshake.
right. That's right. My bad. We got.
I know we've been sipping, but all right.
Nah, I gotta keep it 100.
No,
That's-
wait, hold on. I
that's
feel
the-
left out.
That's the buddy five.
That's the buddy
I
five.
told him
I
how to
felt
do
left
that
out.
when I don't think he was like 2 years old when I told him how to do that handshake.
I was fine.
And y'all
No.
still remember that, John?
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
We could at least fake something for the camera or something, but... All right, what up? Boom. Let's make one up. Oh, we gotta do ours. We can't do what he did.
just follow my lead.
Are you ready?
Follow my lead.
Let's go. Uh-huh.
Lock it.
Uh-huh.
Bring it away.
Bring it away. Let's do it. Let's go.
There it is. It was something quick, impromptu. It is what it is. So, man,
I feel like I'm a made man now.
you official.
Genevieve's family. Let's go.
Anywho, we're about to spark up these cigars. This is a TABAK ESPECIAL Cafe con Leche from Drew Estate. This is actually the first cigar that he introduced me to. I talked about this cigar on my first episode of Smoking Sundays, and I have been a fan of this stick ever since. You know, I got my girlfriend on it, and I'm gonna have her on a few episodes. But you know, as we light these up, I want to give you guys your flowers. You know, that's my whole thing with Smoking Sundays. Whenever I have guests, I want to give them their flowers to their face and just show them and tell them how much I really appreciate them.
Facts.
So, you know, starting with Nae, you know, I know your story and how you became, you know, a commercial pilot.
Yes.
You know, you don't see a lot of black commercial pilots out there, and to know one of them personally is a true honor. And I'm following you on Instagram. I'm trying to get my golf game up. I just gotta get some clubs, and I gotta go to
That's part of
a
getting the
jogging
game up is
range.
getting the club.
Yeah,
Once you do that, you halfway there.
Yeah.
right.
Right. So hey, listen. I owe anybody that knows me knows it's like a personal challenge. I want to do stuff that, as you know, you from our neighborhood. 'Cause you was a young boy, but I want to do something that basically anything that wasn't normal for us growing up. Golfing, swimming, like anything that's just out of ordinary.
It's really good.
That's what I want to do.
Absolutely.
Because as we know, and as we're going to talk about soon, this ain't no dress rehearsal, man. You got one time at this thing. You know, so I want to live it to the fullest and do what I want to do. Obviously, we're being safe, but that's the key is to cross off as much boxes as we can.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. And Cal, for you, you know, you like my big brother, and I've learned a lot from just how you move, and of course our conversations that we have, you know, our monthly conversations. I think we're about 2 months past due, but we'll get back to it. But yeah, just a lot of our conversations that we've had, like I can say that you were one of the people that I've soaked up a lot from. And like I said, I just wanted to give you your flowers with that, and just, man, thank y'all again for coming through and just sitting and chopping it up, smoking something. We sipping on some special Hen Dog Master Blenders. Selection
hold on.
four.
But you know what though? Let's give the producer, director extraordinaire, Mr. Purnell, Chris Purnell, his flowers.
Exactly.
I remember you, man. And I hate people do this. Oh, little Nae, I remember you was this big.
Right.
So I know you about to hate this, but I remember when it was, man. You always, even though you were way younger than us, you'll be around. You wouldn't say much. You would just watch, you know. And then in Cal's wedding, you was involved in the wedding. I mean, it's just like the picture. Yeah, so it's like
with the green
so
suit
just
on.
to see you. I mean, a lot of times, man, us and people around us, they like to keep us in our place where we was, that they remember us at that point. Oh, you little Chris. Oh, you little Nae. So it's like, I remember you there, but watch your maturation process to where you are now and to see what you're doing, it's just wonderful, man. Because I still, sometimes I look like, oh, little Chris. Shh, don't call him little Chris. Don't call him little Chris. That's big Chris. You know what I mean? Mr. Purnell.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get the salt and pepper like y'all. Mine is just on Brillo status right now.
I don't know if that's a shot, a jab, or
I want that.
Well, you know, Cal got me to embrace it. I don't even want to touch it on camera.
I look at it like a sign of wisdom.
It is.
You know,
I embrace
that's why
it,
I want it.
I embrace it. I would cut it, or I would like try to like touch it up. I'm like, you know what, man?
Just let it be.
Let it out.
Let it be.
'Cause I used to get gray hair at a young age, man. Like, and I was like, man, ain't no stopping it. And then you try to dye that thing come back twice as strong, or it be looking like purple or something. You know what I mean?
Not only that, then you start looking like a preacher if you missed the dye the dye date. That thing start to come from the root.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Or as you know, or you may ruin a couple pillowcases up in your room. If you don't use the right joint.
Yeah.
So, man, out there, just
let it be.
Let it be, man.
Don't
Listen,
die.
I like you said, that's a sign of like, man, you've been around. Like, so I'm cool with it now. I'm good. I've trust me, I've learned to just let it go. It's whatever.
And real quick, speaking of hair, so back in the day, he had like a milk dud, straight 8-ball, right?
Yeah.
Now he has a head full of hair, and I'm the one with the ashy milk dud with the parking spot in the middle.
Yo, let me just tell you.
You see the parking spot in the middle?
Yeah.
I'm hating on both of y'all hard. This is why I'm wearing the hat.
See,
I give you $1,000. You let that shit go in.
I want to see it, yo. Wait, is it going to fill out or is it going to crown around first?
It's going to
It's going to crown around first? Oh, no. Come on, man. I'll take my salt and pepper all day then. One thing the Lord blessed me with is a full head of hair. So I'm going to rock this thing till the wheels fall off. And then,
as you should.
And then my barber will be pushing my hair
wheels
on
fell
back,
off
so.
about 5 years ago.
You are
but I definitely appreciate the
you
flowers.
look good with the hat though. It's all good.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, let me give you some flowers real quick, because you're the man with huge ideas, right? Huge ideas, and I've always admired you for that. You know,
right.
you always put yourself in a space where you're like, no, this is my idea. I like this, and I'm going to run with it. And it's really like no stopping you. You know, you just gotta keep your foot on the gas, push the brake every now and again, recharge yourself, but just keep going. Like,
you know what else I like too, Chris? You're not afraid.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you're not afraid at all, but also you're not, at least from my perspective, because you will hit me every now and there or something. You're not afraid to ask questions. You're not afraid to learn. You know what I'm saying? And as we'll get into, you never stop learning. The day you stop learning, or put it this way, the day you're stopped willing to learn is the day you're doomed for no more success.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to learn.
Absolutely.
So, and I always admire you, man, because you always, every time you hit me or something, number one, which you don't have to, but you always give me the utmost respect. Yo, I was thinking it, like, very respectful. And then also, you always ask questions and you always want to learn more, man. So, yeah, man. So
I appreciate that. Cheers,
I don't want to get up.
My guy, Big Ball. My guy, Big Ball.
Yes, sir.
So, before we get into some cigar talk, we're going to take a quick break real quick, and we'll be right back. Smoking Sundays.
My name is Calvin Purnell Jr. I am a son.
He's a typical kid.
He's a jokester.
Introvert. Cal kept to himself a lot.
Calvin saved my life.
A husband.
I used to call him the Renaissance man because he was very creative and open to so many different things.
A father of 3. A manager at IBM. A published author. And I also have a felony conviction.
Lost my temper.
Whoa, what the hell? What y'all, Cal be shooting?
It had to be at least 100 cops out there pointing their guns at me.
I told him to, get a white t-shirt, wave it out the door so that don't let him shoot you.
I stand in front of him, and he reads over the situation, what happened, and he says, $1 million cash bail. I'm never getting out of jail. Hey, $1 million cash? Who has $1 million cash?
Don't be afraid to look up at the sky.
Never let anybody tell you no. If somebody tells you no, move them out of the way. Go to the next person.
If someone told me I was going to be a published author, a public speaker, and a mentor to many people with a felony conviction, I would have laughed in their face.
I was Calvin who toted a 357, Calvin who toted a 45 at the same time. And I kept a 380 in the trunk. These streets are not for you. They don't love you. I'm gonna tell you this straight up. If you ever want to do anything in life and you don't know how to do it, find out who the person is that knows how to do those things.
You cannot give up on yourself. Your true character is who you are when nobody's watching.
This is my life, from prison to polished.
And we are back. Another special Smoking Sundays live from the 215. It's me, Cool Guy P, and I got my uncles Nae Brown, Calvin Purnell Jr. And I just want to get down into it. So, for you guys with these cigars, where does your mind go when you're smoking a cigar? Nae, I'll start with you first.
So it's funny. I always smoke cigar. First of all, for everybody watching out there, I don't consider myself like an aficionado. Mm-hmm. I love to smoke cigar. Actually, I was talking to you on the phone the other day, and he over the phone he told me what I was smoking. I'm like, damn, you right, because but when my mind goes, it's funny because Jackie would be like, I'll be out on the back porch and smoking a cigar, and I never enjoyed my back porch like I do now, post COVID, because you couldn't really do anything else, bro. I enjoy. Call me corny. Call me boring. I sit back there, watch squirrels, birds, and just take it all in, right?
Yes.
And I just smoke my cigar. And a lot of times I was doing it with my Cabernet. I'm a big wine drinker. But now I know, as I know more, it's good to have a good yak or something good, nice little brown with you.
Yes.
Because it just enhances the flavor of the cigar. So I'm getting there, man. But I tell you what, so where my mind goes, for some reason, it's just so relaxing, bro. And I can't tell you where my mind go because that's the whole point of the cigar. Just whatever I'm thinking, it's like therapeutic.
Yes.
I don't do yoga because I'm not that flexible, but this is my yoga. Exactly. Absolutely. So yeah.
Calvin, what about you?
I just go with the flow. I'm a huge practitioner of awareness and mindfulness. So I focus a lot on my breathing, and I focus on things like if I'm sitting outside smoking. Well, I'm always sitting outside smoking a cigar, except for right now.
Right.
But when I'm outside smoking a cigar, I'll just sit there and breathe, and I'll focus on the leaves. I'll focus on grass blades, which is because you really have to sit there and look at it, right?
Still in that.
And do it because I'm telling you, it's because at that point you're in a state of nothingness. It's just you and whatever it is you're focusing on. Because like for me, when I do my mindfulness walks, I try to clear my mind of everything except for the things that I'm looking for. As I'm walking down the street, I'll identify, there's a tree. Oh, look at the leaves on the tree. Oh, there's trash blowing down the street. Oh, look at that building. Yeah, I'll focus on those things, right? And that just puts me in a state of nothingness where I'm not thinking about the world, thinking about any issues that I'm dealing with, thinking about work, thinking about, nothing, just chilling. But that's what it does for me. It gives me an opportunity to be still. And
be still.
And then just focus. So
just listen to you. It takes me back to a quote. it says the beginning of wisdom is knowing that you know nothing.
Wow.
And just thinking about, you said, being in a state of nothingness. That's where all of the ideas come. That's where all of your peace may come.
Right.
And a lot of understanding is when you know that you know nothing. So
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
You know, another thing that I do, I'll smoke a cigar if I'm like deep in thought on something. Like if I feel like, if I start thinking about creating something, right, writing a book, having these ideas of, I want to do, X, Y, and Z. I'll smoke a cigar and think through that process too. That's another thing that I'll do when I'm smoking a cigar. That way, because I'm sitting still smoking a cigar, I'm not moving anywhere. I don't have any distractions or anything like that. So it gives me an opportunity to focus on those thoughts and game plan. Because like when I write, all the time when I write, I visualize what I'm going to write first. Like I'll see it run through my head as like I'm watching TV, and then I'll go and I'll just write it all out. So it just puts me in that state too. So it's a creative process too.
Absolutely. Yeah. I just know for me, and I've said this numerous times, but when I smoke my cigar and I'm out on the back porch, that's when I listen to God. I feel like that's when God he speaks the loudest when I'm sitting still. And with these cigars force me in a positive way to sit still. In this society, we're always running. We're ripping and running, doing X, Y, and Z, and multitasking and getting burnt out. But these cigars is my what do you call that? I'm recharging my battery when I do it. So man, this is good.
It's funny, because when I used to work in Center City, I used to go out for lunch, take a walk, and I see this guy walking down the street just smoking a cigar on his lunch break, and he just chilling. And I always admired him for that. And I was like, one day I'm gonna just smoke a cigar and take a walk. Take a walk for the time, because you can't blow through a cigar all quick. So you take your time.
You will pass out.
Yeah, like take your time and just chill and take that walk.
I used to be like that. And you know where I learned that from? I learned it, but I don't practice it a lot. I learned that from going to Europe. When you go to when I used to fly to Europe, one thing that you see over here that you don't see over there is to-go coffee cups.
Oh yeah,
they don't do that. They sit down.
They sit down and
chill.
chill.
Have their coffee. You don't see them walking around up and down the street like with a Starbucks like you do over here.
That's true.
That's a no-go. That's a no. You take your time. If you don't have time, then you don't have that coffee. And we are so much always in a rush. Bro, I be in a rush to do nothing sometimes. Calvin hit me like, "Oh, I was busy." And then I'm thinking like, "What the fuck? Busy doing what?" Like, you can always, to me, busy is here. Does that make sense? So busy is here, and sometimes I never made time for myself to be unbusy and enjoy the cigar. But who's in control of this? We are. This is controlled by us. Absolutely. It ain't the other way around. So, and that's a part of like mental health and mental awareness is like if you just let your mind go to a place that it's never been without you being in control, if you just undo your stem and just let your brain do whatever they want to do, if that makes sense. It's like, okay, then your body going to just go wherever your mind just go. But at the same time, it's like, let your mind go, but you still have to have a state of consciousness to know where you're going or what you're doing. So make time. You in control of this. Make time for yourself.
Absolutely.
You ain't that busy to where you're not busy. Like, make time for yourself. And I learned that, man. And like I said, Jackie calls it, you want to do midlife crisis. Because I'll be on the back porch just like this. Like, yeah. You call it what you want.
Right.
But that's me. Like, I love it. I just sit down there and just, like you said, man, the fresh air, just the animals. What I try to do too, I try to listen to how many, because sometimes you just go on the back porch and it's like birds and everything. And it's like, okay. But have you ever dissected to try to hear different things that you hear? Like separate them. Like, damn, okay, that was that. Man, one time I got like 9 different things, right? But it's boring, but it's fun. It's like, man, I'm just enjoying myself.
Stimulating your mind.
Stimulate my mind.
You know what's funny? Because, my mom always talks about this, like when we listen to music, the best way to listen to music, if you're not high, but the best way to listen to music, listen to it with your eyes closed. Because when you listen to music with your eyes closed, now you're able to pick out each different instrument.
Right.
So listening to nature, God's music,
Yeah.
You're picking out different animals and all their sounds like different instruments.
Yeah.
You know, like I remember, what day was it? I want to say it was either last Saturday. I was sitting outside in the morning, and it was like God's orchestra. It was just nothing but the birds and the wind and the, you know, just the overall air. It was like, this is what this is about.
Yeah.
I'm listening to God play his music. You know, so going back to, like you said, you sit on the back porch. Cal, for you, like, what is your ideal setting for when you're enjoying your cigar?
Sitting on the steps. Doesn't matter to me. Like I'd rather take a walk, honestly. You know, I'd rather go for a walk, and I've done that a few times, and it takes you away from everything else, because you remove your distractions in the house that you know, if you were sitting outside smoking your cigar, you're just right outside. Open the door, people come outside, start talking to you, right? But if you take a walk, it's just you and your cigar. You know?
Do y'all play music sometimes?
Yeah.
Like, what do y'all listen to when you smoke your cigar?
It depends. You know, it's weird. At nighttime, I will, but not in the daytime.
Yeah. So because like the one time I misunderstood your question. When I smoke my cigar, do I play music? No.
Okay.
I don't, because that's when I want to take some time to hear my own thoughts. You know, it's another thing. That's one of the other things that I do. I'll sit still and listen to my own thoughts, because what I do every morning is part of my routine. Is I get up, start my day, take my allergy medicine, take my vitamin, then I start my process in the bathroom. And that's my time where I just sit there and I'm like, all right, let me check in with myself. You know, because I need to see where this is at. If this is somewhere else, I need to reel it back in. You know, I need to reel it in so that way I can get myself centered for the day. Because if I'm having bullshit ass thoughts, then I'm gonna have a bullshit ass day. Right. And that's what I don't want. So I have to check in with myself spiritually and mentally, and then put myself in a space where I want to be. So a lot of times smoking a cigar, I don't want to hear anything else. I just want to hear myself. You know, and unless I'm in a space where I want to focus on, you know, the mindfulness stuff, you know, the trees, the birds, the leaves, the grass, you know, that type of stuff. But yeah, it's just, I don't want those outside distractions, because it's just you and the cigar. I mean, your phone is going to be distracted anyway, right? Because that's a major distraction for everybody. And
I gotta get off the phone.
Yeah.
Sometimes I sit back there and I'm listening and stuff, but I'll just like go through YouTube or just go through some Sixers talk or something like that. Cause I like the that's probably one of my biggest negatives. Like I multitask.
Yeah.
Subconsciously, like, all right, I can handle this. And I'm just like, but sometimes I just gotta just put it down. Be like, all right,
and just be. You know, and like when I started going to the cigar lounges, and the first time I went to a cigar lounge, I met up with Zoe Williams. And one of the things that he told me was, I was telling him, like, yo, how do you not burn yourself out? I come here. When I'm here, I can just be. You need to find a place where you can just be. And then I found that with the cigar lounge, and even just smoking a cigar, that's my place where I can just be. You know,
my place where I can just be usually is at work.
Really?
Yeah. So, but obviously, with this past year, I've been working a lot. But so I had to find something different because my getaway was work. And a lot of times you talk to other pilots, it's like it's so much fun to do what you do. It's like you don't even say I'm going to go work. You say I'm going on a trip. I gotta go fly. You don't say I'm going to work. I just don't, because it's just like I'm going somewhere. And then when I'm up in the air, like when you're up in the air, man, it's just like you look down and like all the bullshit on the news, on TV, all that, it's like it doesn't even matter up there.
Wow.
You can't even hear it because you're just looking down in the clouds. And that's one time I can really just like clear my thoughts. Like, all right.
Wow.
You know, so that was dope for me, and it still is dope for me to like when I'm really like, you know, get in my thoughts. I just look out the side window and just be like, kind of lose myself. All these like 5 to 10 minutes. And then I'm good. And then I go somewhere. And it's like, yeah, so it's like that's the one good thing. So obviously with the reduced schedule, with people not flying, it's like I was home a lot. I'm just sitting around. I'm always on the go, and I'm not doing that now. I'm just sitting around. It's like, man. So obviously playing golf, and then the cigars, just sit on the back. Because my neighbor, we used to sit down in the garage a lot of times. We just sit in the garage, and I don't know how do y'all like. I like smoking when it's raining.
Oh yeah.
So
because
I'll be in the garage and then I'm just watching.
You just look at the
thunderstorms.
rain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, so it's like, man, that's like one of my perfect times to smoke a cigar.
love it.
So yeah, so
Yeah, me, I like smoking sometimes in the morning. Sunset.
You do this then?
Yeah, sunset. Sunset is probably my most favorite time.
That's my favorite time.
And I don't smoke at night, like when it's dark out. I like morning and sunset. Sometimes like lunchtime if I ain't doing nothing, but mainly in the morning when I know it's my day off. I don't care if it's 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna have a cigar and I'm gonna have me a little glass of whiskey. I don't care. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, so I'm gonna do it.
You need to smoke a cigar in the morning with a good cup of coffee. A good cup of coffee.
Yeah,
I'm doing that tomorrow.
But see, I can't.
I'm doing that tomorrow. Oh, I'm doing that tomorrow. I can't wait.
When I say a good cup of coffee, I mean a good cup of coffee. The cup of coffee that's gonna make you close your eyes and be like, damn, that's good. A good cup of coffee.
I know who has a good coffee. Quick plug, Pearson Jeffries out in Kickin, PA. They have good coffee and good cigars. So yeah, just wanted to shout them out real quick. Quick plug. But see, my thing is, you know, I was a coffee drinker when I was a baby, thanks to my grandma, your mom, mommy. But
shout out Miss Linda.
Over time, and when I got older, I realized how much when I drink coffee, it'll put me to sleep. It wouldn't like turn me up, and I'm like, oh, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go to bed, you know. So, but anyway, we're going to take another break because I want to go back to you, Nae, with you're talking about flying. I want to talk about how you became a pilot.
Yes, sir.
But smoking Sundays, we here. Good stick, good drink. We'll be right back. And we are back. Welcome back to Smoking Sundays, live from 215. It's me, Cool Guy P, and I got my uncles, Nae Brown, Calvin Purnell Jr. here, and getting back into it. So Nae, what made you become a pilot? Out of all things to do with your life, why would you become a pilot?
Man.
Now, I say that with ridicule because it's mainly because of the hen dog. I'm really intrigued by this story.
This thing is good, ain't it?
Yes, it is.
Y'all gonna get all the truths today, man.
If get this rock gut I got over here, that's why I put it to the side. Go ahead.
So I can remember back, as far as I can remember, and then my brother and my parents would say the same thing. 6 years old.
Wow.
So everything I wanted to do revolved around airplanes. And I know my dad, on Sundays, he would take us down to past Island Avenue.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? Right on the way to UPS.
Yep.
And then he had a van. Everybody know my pop. Shout out my pop. Everybody know my pop have a van. Every year he get a different van. So we used to eat dinner and then we'll sit on the van and watch the airplanes take off and land. And then that would stick with me. So then we'll go back to the wall. Shout out the wall. We'll get into that later.
68th Street.
68th Street. So the playground, we call it the wall. So as I know it now, I didn't know back then, runway 3517 runs right over the wall. So the planes, we'll be out there playing. Cal will tell you, we'll be out there playing. Everybody know I love basketball. So we'll be out there playing. And then literally in the middle of the game, a plane will fly over and I would stop. Be like, looking like, damn. Wow. Calvin like, Nate, pass the damn ball. Pay attention, nigga.
Right.
So, but I kept saying, I'm going to do that one day. But I didn't never believe it. Mm-hmm. So you want me to continue going?
Yeah,
okay,
keep going.
So make a long story short, fast forward to high school. Mm-hmm. It's always in the back of my mind. But as you guys know, we ain't had no black powers in Southwest Philly. None that I've seen, none that I've known. We didn't have the internet back then. It wasn't as accessible to look to see, hey, this is what I can do. My mind thought, I watched Tom Cruise, I watched Top Gun, you gotta go to the military. You gotta fly F-14s to become a commercial pilot. I didn't know.
Right.
So
did you join the military?
No.
Oh, okay.
All civilian. So
got you.
I went to West Catholic, shout out West Catholic. So going into my senior year. No, it was my senior year. And I just wasn't doing too good in school. Just wasn't doing too good. Being a knucklehead, just doing stupid stuff. And I never forget, like, kind of like before they, like, decide, because Catholic school, as y'all know, is strict. They'll throw you out. They don't play around. So I thought I was going to go to Bartram, where Calvin went. So I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to go to Bartram. So before they get rid of you, they talk to you. They say, so I never forget, I think his name was Brother Steve. I forgot his name. He was a guidance counselor. And he said, he had a deep voice. So Napoleon, what do you want to do with your life? And being a straight up asshole. Like, I meant it, but I wanted to be an asshole. I was just sitting back like, I want to fly airplanes. I don't know. I meant the shit, but I didn't mean the shit. Like, I meant it, but like, you know what I'm saying? He's like, really? He goes, oh, it's a school in Delaware, aviation school. I said I wanted to fly airplanes. What is aviation? So, bro, you know, we don't know. We're from the hood. Like, I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
So he was like, he reached in this is before the internet, like I said, we had filing cabinets. For all the kids out there that know what a filing cabinet was.
God.
He reached over, made a creaky noise, and he went in there and got out this manila folder. He said, it's a school in Delaware, aviation.
Wow.
Airplanes, check it out. So I took it, went home, told my mom, I got in trouble at school, the pamphlet was sitting there, and I was about to graduate, and then my grandmother, God rest her soul, she was up there. My grandmother, she's a woman of very few words. Never get, you have Big Mama, and then you have Grandma. Like, Big Mama, like, tell you, like, boy, get your ass over. My grandma was like that, but she had to be turned way up to do that. So she never said anything, right? So I told the proverbial, how many times you heard this? I'm going to go to college, but let me just take a year off. I went to school for 12 years. Just give me a year off. Knowing damn well how many times you ain't going back. You know that. You ain't going back. So my grandma told me, she was like, listen, I ain't telling you what to do, but just go try the school out.
Give it a shot, yeah.
Give it a shot. We drove down to Delaware, went to the school. I met Miss Laverne. Shout out Miss Laverne, that's my baby. She's now the president of, y'all see him now on TV, Wilmington University, but back then it was Wilmington College, now Wilmington University. Shout out Wilmington University, Miss Laverne, Dr. Harmon, she's the president. Shout out her, I love her to death.
Shout out
She's
Dr.
the
Harmon.
First person I met. Back then she was just the, like a dean of students type of thing, right?
Okay.
So, talked to her. They said, thank you. They said, let me use this one. I know this one looked a little complicated. So she said, hey, we have aviation here, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
The airport across the street.
He flies airplanes, and he said the lighter is complicated.
Hey. We on the ground right now, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So she said, they have what's called a discovery flight.
Okay.
You can go for a half hour, fly the airplane with an instructor, see if you like it. Bro, I went, hooked. Hooked. Like I got bit by like the Spider-Man bug or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I needed it again. It was like I never did heroin, but I imagine like I needed it. Like I gotta do this again.
Yeah.
So I went back to my mom and dad. I was like, I gotta do this again. Bro, they bent over backwards. I had 3 jobs. I worked at Ruby Tuesdays, Save on Sneaks, and Toys R Us.
Save on Sneaks.
Save on Sneaks. So that's before like Foot Locker and all that. I mean, that's when they had like mom and dad sneaker stores.
Okay, I'm
you know
like,
what I'm saying?
Save on Sneaks. I've never heard of that. It's like a save a lot.
John was the owner.
Okay.
He gave me a job, became a manager. I played 4 years of college basketball. Playing basketball, I had 3 jobs. In flight school, everything's good. Wow. Have a baby. Ooh. Unplanned. 20 years old. What is this? So now I'm like, no, I can't go out like this. So I'm like, all right, I got to make this work. So playing basketball, like I said, 3 jobs. Man, shout out my parents because they bent over backwards. Man, I found out later some things they did financially to help me out that I never knew. They never told me about.
Wow.
And man, the rest is history. And then, let me slow down. So I finished flight school. I'm a pilot now. I had my pilot's license at 17 years old before my driver's license. 17, right? I backed up a little bit. So then, fast forward, I know, right?
Yeah, like,
it's funny because
wow.
I used to go to the bank. Remember back in the day, this is before direct deposit, y'all little spoiled kids out there. You had to get an actual check. You had to go to the bank to cash the check. And the only form of government ID I had was my pilot's license.
Oh, wow.
And the picture was my school ID. So I would go there, and I remember the tellers would be like, here he is, Betty, look at him. Because I was like a little baby. Betty, here's the pilot I told you about. So they would go there, you know what I'm saying? So I would cash my checks. So fast forward, I became a flight instructor for 4 years. I taught other people how to fly. Even in the midst of this, because for all y'all out there that don't know, you get your ratings. You get your private, your instrument, your commercial. Then you get your CFI, you get your multi-engine, then you get your ATP. ATP stands for Airline Transport Pilot. That's the top, the creme de la creme. So here I am, I got all my ratings, and I'm still not thinking that I can fly, like I could do this for a living. I'm doing this. I'm flying my friends to Atlantic City and stuff like that, but I'm not thinking like career-wise.
Yeah.
They didn't privy me to this. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm in it, and I'm still on the outside. They didn't. So I would see a lot of my friends, Craig, Andy, a lot of my white friends leave. I'm like, oh, hey man, good luck in the airlines. I'm like, damn, why they leaving? Not knowing I'm on that same path. So then I'm like, yo, I want to try this.
I'll say, what made you like wake up to like I can do this? Like as
It's
a
the
living.
down part. I had a person. I'm not even going to say his name on here because I don't even want to give him the clout. He should have told me in my face, you'll never be an airline pilot because you're black and you're never on time. That's what he told me. And from where I'm from, it's 2 ways you can handle it. Either punch him dead in the face, which I wasn't going to do because that's what they expect me to do, or say, I'm going to show you and prove you wrong.
Use it as fuel.
He helped me.
Ooh,
he helped
good.
me.
That's good.
He helped me to this day. I pray and I thank God for him.
That's
because
good.
without him, I still never. So then I just like, yo, what I got to do? I started asking questions. Oh man, you got the time. You get the time, and then you go on. So I'm still there. I was a flight instructor. Dude, a flight instructor should be flight instructor for about at the most a year and a half, 2 years. I was there for 4 years.
Oh my goodness.
And along came this guy. His name was Bob Ferris. He flew for US Air. He would call me Grasshopper. He talked like this. He talked like your dad, kind of. Deep voice, talk like this. And he's like, I'm going to help you out, Grasshopper. And he had a multi-engine airplane. We flew to his house. He had a little house down in Hilton Head. We used to fly down there. He would give me multi-engine time because you got to have multi-engine time to build time up. Make a long story short, and it's kind of long already, but he introduced me to this dude named Rodney. Shout out my boy Rodney Daisy. Rodney is the one that helped me. Rodney came to the flight school, was like, Nae, I just met you, but I'm going to get you out of here. And he went to a place called he worked at Trans-States Airlines, which was US Air Express.
Okay.
He said, give me your resume, I'm going to walk it in.
Wow.
And he walked in. This is how things was back in the day. He walked in, and I think his name was Mike Swoboda, was the chief pilot. He walked in and was like, this is my buddy, you need to help him, blah, blah, blah. He said, Rodney, I'm going to call him. Only thing I do is give me I think it was like a bottle of Jameson or something like that. Like real smooth.
Nice.
Bro, he came back and told me, Nae, you got the interview. Don't mess it up. I cried like a baby. And said, I didn't even get the job yet. I said, Rodney, how can I repay you? He looked dead in my face and said, just do the same thing for another young brother coming behind you.
Nice.
And that's why if you see me on my page, I go hard at trying to help people.
Absolutely.
It's my job, bro. It's my job because I've been there. I've been that person. Now, thank God you have the internet and stuff like that now. It's more accessible to kind of see where you need to go. You can reach out to more people. But I had nobody back then. Even though I had Calvin, they wasn't in this business. I couldn't turn to them.
Mm-hmm.
I had to kind of figure it out myself. So, and that's what happened, man.
Wow.
Yep.
Man, I'm gonna sit back and let that one breathe a bit because that was heavy. Man, but what I take away from that was, it's like you never know who's watching you.
Never. You
never know who's watching you. This is why it's always important, as I've said before.
Let me just cut you off for 1 second.
Go ahead.
Because I do want to say that one white dude, I'm not going to say his name. That was one, but let me just tell you how many positive people helped me.
Mm-hmm.
That was on the other color. My boy Aaron, my mentor Dennis, Andy, Axel. There's a lot of them out there. They know where they are. They helped me tremendously, man. Without those guys, so I don't want it to seem like nobody. It was just me on an limb. I had a lot of help also from the other side. So,
but man, it's like I said, it goes back to you never know who's watching you, and it's something I want to get into later on about keeping your circle tight.
Yes.
So, like I said, I want to let this breathe a little bit, and we'll be right back. Smoking Sundays, and we are back. Another special Smoking Sundays. I got my guys with me, my uncles, Nae Brown, Calvin Purnell Jr., and man, this is, as long as I've known you, this is a story I've never heard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just blown away by the whole process of everything that you went through. Yeah. So again, I tip my hat off to you. I can't show the parking spot, but I'm gonna tip my hat off to you. Yeah, like
parking authority.
Right. But like I said, I tip my hat off to you because it seemed like you persevered through a lot, and had minor hiccups here and there, but you still muscled through it. And one of the stories I do know about you is that your family was very instrumental in keeping you off the streets and keeping you out of drug dealing or things that they may have been doing. And if you can, just expound more on how they kept you off the street and what made you listen to them.
Well, I'm the youngest of 4. So I have 3 older brothers.
No sisters, right?
I have 1 sister.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my dad's daughter. She's the oldest. She lives in Tampa. Shout out Iris. That's my baby.
It.
So, my oldest brother Dan, he was the older brother. You know what I'm saying?
He's a sheriff, right?
He is a sheriff in Georgia now. Yeah, her life has changed. He was like if you watch like the old. You know what I'm saying? He was like he used to run with, Jeffrey Towns, Jazzy Jeff, as everybody know. They were best friends. They grew up, they ran together. So him and Will and all of them, they went out to LA, did their thing. I'll get more on that in a minute. My other brother, Chris, the second brother, Chris is like, as Calvin tell you, Chris is like, he's the hustler, the grinder. Like, yo, Nate, that's what you got to do. Hey, I found some land over in Costa Rica. We need to buy it. Like, that's him. So he's the
visionary.
Yes, he's the visionary. So Dan was like the street smart, right? Chris was the visionary. And then my brother G, as everybody know, was the muscle, the knucklehead, the anything, the old dog. You know what I'm saying? The fist.
Right.
So it was like Wu-Tang. You know what I mean? You take this form, and then I was like Voltron. They made, and that's who I am.
Gotcha.
I me personally, I think without trying to like say this or that, I think I could take every little bit of a scenario of what Southwest Philly made me, and I can maneuver, I can move that way. You know what I mean? So they helped me a lot, as far as that's concerned. So, yeah, you're right about that, man. You're right about that. So, like I said, Greg will be like, anything streetwise, Nate, get home. I will tell you, he was hard on me. Like, don't be out here, But I've seen a lot. Having 3 brothers, you've seen a whole lot, man, a whole lot. So, like I said, my brother was in the streets, and he was the one next to me. So me and him was together a lot. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like what you have brothers in different age groups. They kind of in layers. So like Chris and Dan, and then me and Greg. But they didn't know, even though me and Greg was like on a different wavelength because he was more into the streets.
Right.
You know, it's just I learned so much by him indirectly. He never sat me down and was like, yo, this is going on. I learned so much from him indirectly. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If I needed a hammer, I needed a gun, I know where to find it. I know he had so many of them. I needed this, I needed that, I needed this, I needed somebody had a problem with somebody or whatever, or whatever. But I never ran to him to be like, as Cal would tell you, I never ran to him and be like, I have a problem with this. Because I was corny. Like, you got to handle your own business.
Right, absolutely.
Now, a lot of times people, I will say this, though, on his behalf, on my behalf. A lot of times I didn't directly have issues because they knew who my brother was.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of stuff would kind of stand down before it even got to that point.
Right.
So, yeah, man. So it was kind of, I had the best of both worlds, man. I took a lot of different backgrounds of how they are to kind of make my own person and find my own way.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So when it came, like, let's say, you know, you're prior to going to flight school.
Right.
Like, you run and meet Calvin. How did that dynamic how did that dynamic also keep you off the streets as well?
Well, so
Cal, feel free to jump in too.
Yeah. So we got statute of limitations here. So
yeah.
So
don't want to say nothing incriminating.
No. It's cool because this is what we do.
Right.
First of all, if to me, your past don't define. And he was a living testament. Your past don't define who you are.
Absolutely.
I be in the cockpit and I fly with a lot of guys from Nebraska and stuff, and I tell them these stories. They're like, "What?" I'm never shy away from my story. Never shy away from the things I've been through because that's what makes me who I am. Mm-hmm. If you can't handle that, then you shouldn't be a friend of mine. So, like I said, like I'll tell you, I was doing things in the street I'm not proud of. I was doing things as far as, you know, nothing hard, but like marijuana, like selling marijuana and stuff like that. And Calvin was the one always. He would never get involved in that stuff. So I would never bring that stuff around Cal, even that. It would be me and some other friends in our circle, but he's the one that's always like, he was like the father. Cal was always before his time. So I would be like, even though like he's not going to like whip me or anything, but it's like, I'll be like, I can't bring that around Cal. Like, it felt dirty. Like I couldn't. So it was like two different lives. And then Cal would always try to keep us on the straight and narrow.
Right.
So, but then when I went to flight school, my brother got locked up. And when he got locked up, and the way he got locked up, really, now you think how things are going down. It could have. So anyway, as everybody know, the 3-strike rule, you know, was really big back then. And so my brother, 3-strike rule, they got a search warrant for the house. I never forget, me and him shared a room. And I'm sitting there, you know, I came down to my mom's house, I'm staying down there. Actually, no, I'm still in high school. And the cops come in to my bedroom. And I'll never forget, I woke up, I look up, and there was a pistol on my face. Wow. And he said, "Don't move, I'll blow your fucking head off." I looked like this, and at first, I thought I was dreaming. The first thing I did was move the pistol, like, get that out of my face. Because there was a light also on my face.
Oh, wow.
And now, he could have shot me.
Yeah.
Right?
Today's, he probably would have.
He could have shot me. And then what stopped him was I heard Greg snapping, "Get that fucking gun on my brother's face." And they said, "Oh, it's him." And they went over and started locking him up. Now, Greg couldn't move because right before that, he got shot. Oh, so wow. He was on crutches. He had a steel rod in his leg. Wow. So he couldn't even move. So he was on crutches. And I never forget, they picked him up, broken leg and all, and threw him on the ground. And I never forget, the thing that hurt me to this day, not only a cop told me he will blow my fucking head off in my own house.
You sleep.
But I'm asleep, and I look up, I look over, and we have steps that kind of come up like this, and it was all cops around the steps and down steps, and on the side of the wall was my dad like this, with his head down. And my dad's a proud guy, and for knowing that he couldn't do nothing, he's supposed to protect us.
Right.
Man, this to get me a little emotional. He's supposed to protect us, and the look on his face, knowing that he couldn't even protect his kids in his own house, hurt him. I could tell. And they locked my brother up, and then like I still was like half asleep, like what's going on? And and that's when he got locked up, and he didn't get out for 9 years after that. So I had to become a man. And about that, once again, these stories, some of these names we're not going to say, but we'll just call this guy Cool G. Cool G Rap. And I think everybody know what I'm talking about. So when Cool G Rap was my brother's best friend, and that's where I got my first gun.
Wow.
He said, yo, your brother's not here no more. You need to protect yourself.
I'm sorry, I'm dumb. This is not the Cool G Rap.
No.
Okay,
No.
all right. I have to ask these things. So.
It's a guy on our block.
Got you.
He's like my brother. And he gave me my first, I had a 380. He gave it to me. He said, your brother's not here no more.
Saturday Night Special?
Yeah, people know who he is.
That's a 38.
No,
380.
Oh,
380.
okay.
And he said, you got to watch yourself. Here you go. Okay. I don't know how to use it. And I never forget, I don't know if I was with you or not. I don't think I was with you. I know how to I think I was with another person. We'll just call him TV. I was with TV. Everyone know what I'm talking about. And TV knows how to shoot guns. So we went out into the field by my crib. And he's like, yo, you need to know how to shoot this. And we popped off right there in the field. Pop, pop, pop. Oh, I can use this. So that was my first gun I ever had. I didn't want this life, but at the same time, because he knows, especially in the summertime, man, things happen like that you're not even involved in.
Absolutely.
And we'll get to that story. But things happen that you're not even involved in, and you just gotta be ready, man. Like you know, and thank God, man. Like my whole thing is when I have my kids, it's like I'm gonna do whatever I can to not have them in that environment. Because sometimes you're not even in the environment, but the environment is around you, and you have no choice. So, but when he got locked up, it was like, all right. So then my whole flight school thing and all that, he was locked up. He missed all that. He missed my child being born, me flying, everything. So when he came back out, here I am, this pilot, and like at first I was little Nae, and then now I'm not. And he's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
where my little brother at?
Yeah. So it was kind of, man, it was kind of surreal for him. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, it's something because when he came home, he didn't know what cell phones were.
No.
Wow.
He didn't know what cell phones were.
And the bus, the SEPTA bus will talk.
Yeah.
And he got scared when it started talking. Like, what is this? Think about it. Think about how much stuff just happened this past year. Can you imagine 9 years? So I can't imagine, man.
Whole culture shock.
No. And then, and the street life wasn't for me because I'm not jail material. Calvin, he can answer those questions. I don't think that I would do good in prison. Like I'd never. So a lot of times when I even started to do certain things, I thought about the consequences. And like I said, indirectly, I see what happened to my brother getting shot 9 times, going to prison. Like he helped me indirectly. Like I don't want to do that. I don't want to be there. I don't want to do that. So, and then, you know, saw what he put my parents through and all that. It's like, I don't want to go down that route. So, yeah, man, it was like the school of hard knocks type thing. Like you learn things and then you go through things and you see things. It's like, okay, you can either make a left or a right. And him and I, he'll tell you that we've seen a lot of our friends make that left when we made that right. And it's like, damn, I can't go back and get him. Like, shit,
too late.
He gone. Like, you know, so. But that's just a part of it, man.
So Calv, I want to throw it to you. You know, one of the stories that I know that, you know, you were kind of like instrumental in your circle of friends and keeping your circle of friends out of trouble. So, you know, for our show, like how could you explain how did you get everybody in the McDonald's?
Well, I didn't keep all my friends out of trouble. I tried my best. Everybody decided to do what they wanted to do. And even myself, like, man, we had our fair share of trouble.
Right.
You know, we wasn't troublemakers. We were finishers in a lot of ways, but we weren't troublemakers.
Humble flex spaghetti.
So, I mean, it's just a reality.
Yeah,
like, it's just
absolutely.
what it was. Like, and a lot of it was like, you know, dealing with certain situations. you see a lot. Like I seen a lot. We lived in Southwest Philly, then we moved to West Philly, then we moved back to Southwest Philly, then we moved back to West Philly, came back to Southwest. Living in West Philly, I saw a lot. I had my cousins up there, and saw them do some things.
Right.
And then it got to a point where the Jamaicans came through. Jamaican posses was running thick in West Philly like crazy. You see mom and pop shops get bought out by Jamaicans. You go in there today, mom and pop is in there running it. You go there the next day, the Jamaicans was running it. Wow. You're like, whoa, what's going on here? But you see a lot. Like, I ain't even gonna go into those stories. But I saw a lot in West Philly. Came to Southwest, came back to Southwest Philly. Was telling stories from West Philly and Southwest Philly, like, yo, this, that, and the other's going on. People like, yeah, right. And I'm like, nah, it's real. It's going down. And the little nook that we lived in, we was kind of sheltered from a lot of it. All we really had to do was rumble the white boys up the field, most of the time. And then,
that's right.
And then as time went on, neighborhood wars would happen. But the McDonald's story is,
wait, let me just indulge on that.
Go ahead.
We won't get to the pop, but
go ahead. Yeah.
Because the McDonald's story is kind of like the coming out period. So let me get it back to the mud for a second.
Okay.
Like he just said, fighting the white boys. Where was that, right? So let me just tell you how I know for a fact about people say, oh, systemic racism isn't real. It's very real. Let me just tell you why. So back to this playground we talked about called The Wall. The Wall was so positive for us. It's a place where we gathered, we played basketball. Yeah, bad things happened there, but it was so positive. What's the first thing they did? They gutted the light box.
Took the lights out.
They took the lights out so we couldn't play at nighttime.
Yep.
We still played in the dark.
So do we.
Then they put up the concrete blocks. Remember that?
You couldn't drive
your car to keep us out of the wall.
Wow.
Then what? Hold on, not there yet. Then they took the sliding boards down. Didn't work. We still at the wall. Then they took the basketball courts down. Think about that. Meanwhile, across the field at Finnegan's lit up like it's goddamn Walt Disney World.
Yep. Still.
And we couldn't go there because if we did, it's going to be a problem.
We had to fight.
And go back to that story.
Like
one time we did.
Go ahead.
Sorry about that. The one time we did have it, the course was still up. We had a summer league game or practice. Me and Calvin on the same team. We practicing. E. Lux is our coach. Shout out E. Lux. Hot as bacon grease out there.
It was crazy hot. Yeah.
Eddie E. Lux, yes sir.
Yes.
It's only about 5 of us.
He had us practicing in the humidity.
15 white dudes come down across the field to our courts.
No, they didn't come to our courts. They walked
through.
No, they didn't. No. They was on the other side of the field.
That's right, and they walked in our neighborhood.
They walked into our neighborhood.
You're right.
Oh, wow.
With no shirts on. It's hot outside, but you had no shirts on. That means one thing. Like, you like saying what's up.
Yeah, you coming down.
So we stop, what is it? So E-Luck, now he's our coach, but he wasn't the most positive coach we could ever had. He said, y'all want practice to end? We like, yeah. He said, y'all go get them out of the neighborhood while they walking through here.
Yep.
Wow.
So now they walking back towards Finnegan, so we walk up there. Now, mind you, I went to Catholic school, so I know all those dudes. Right? So
see you on Monday at school. Nae, man, what happened?
So I saw the dude, right? So I walked in there, hot heads on both sides. It was like a movie. I go to the front, me and the other dude walk to the front. I'm like, yo, the dude name was Chris. Nobody know who he is, so I'm gonna say Chris. I said, Chris.
Out of all names?
No, that's his real name though. That was his name. I said, Chris, what are y'all doing? Nate, no disrespect to you, but some nigger right in front of me. I'm like, oh, strike one.
That's when the hands go down.
So I'm like, he goes, somebody stole my boy's bike. He said, I know one you, neighbor. I said, well, y'all can't just be walking neighborhood like that. So, shout out to all the old heads. It was a movie called Rage in Harlem. Remember that? Mm-hmm. And when something about to go down,
I put a spell on you.
Before that, he would say, Pop go to Weasel.
Yep.
So that was our saying that summer. Whenever we was about to fight, we say, Pop go to Weasel. So I'm trying to work shit out. And then TV who I spoke about earlier.
Oh, no.
And I hear a little squeaky voice, fuck that. Pop go to Weasel. I'm like, no. It's 5 of us. It's 15 of them.
No, at that point it was more. It was all of Finnegan's, and it was 5 of us.
Oh my!
It was
God.
all of Finnegan's, 5 of us. And
it was me. No, 4 of us.
Go ahead.
Because one of our boys, I ain't gonna say his name. We're gonna call him Distance. Distance wasn't a fighter, so it was me, Calv. Rest in peace, our boy Brian. Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
B, and who was the?
It was TV. It was.
Hey, TV. Me, TV, Distance, and Brian.
TV.
So
wait, one more.
Wait, no, wasn't Raheem with us?
If he did, he ain't throw hands.
No, he did. Wait. It was.
That's my man.
Me,
I know
it
he'll get
was
down.
me, you, Brian. I don't think
Distance and Distance.
I don't think. I don't think
Distance.
Raheem was there. He might have been. Was he?
Distance.
I don't think.
So I hear Pop go to Weasel, and I know these dudes. So I'm like, all right, we rumble these dudes down. I'm about to deal with this shit again on Monday. Whatever. We're at the swimming pool.
Come on, man.
Finnegan's pool. Now you see I know. Nah, fuck that. Pop go to Weasel. I just see a hand come past my hand, hit the white dude dead in his face. Psh, it's on.
That's it.
It was the biggest fight. So let me just back up because the tension, what happened was when we were little kids, my oldest brother, every Sunday they'll play football with the white dudes.
Oh, wow.
A big fight broke out. One of the white dudes got killed. That's all I'm going to tell you. In the fight.
Say less.
So it was always that tension from there on out. Always. So that's when it started. So even if
you talking about from the 70s, all the way up until the mid 90s. The mid 90s.
That tension was always there.
That tension was always there.
So I'm not gonna tell you the details of the fight, but the fight went pretty good for us.
Yeah. Then the cops came.
And guess who the cops chased?
Y'all.
Us.
Of
They
course.
chased us.
4 of us.
It was 4 of us. So and then this is the crazy part. Distance said, I ain't running because I ain't do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I told them, I was like, y'all run, y'all go to Brian's Pop House. I'll meet y'all there. And it was a paddy wagon.
Oh, so they was looking to get y'all.
They was going through the field.
They was running through the field. Guess who they was on? Me. Because I was the fastest. So I told them to go to Brian's Pop House.
I was always the slowest. I ain't gonna lie. I was the slowest.
So I'm running through the field and the paddy wagon is on me and I'm just going and I'm like, I gotta get to the wall. Once I get to the wall, I know they ain't gonna be able to maneuver to get through that.
Because we know how to get,
Yeah, so once I got to the wall, it was like stuff in the way and I just whoop, 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 whoop. And then I got through our neighborhood and ran up the breezeway and then got to Brian's Pop House and I was like, yo, I don't know. So we gotta call Miles. I don't know where Miles.
Distance.
I don't know where Distance is at. Fuck it. It's out there now. I don't know where Miles is at.
Go ahead.
I don't know where Miles is at.
Go ahead.
So
shout out.
Nah, because everybody gonna see this and be like, Miles, why don't you rumble with him like
that? Just everybody
30
knows
years later,
that's
whatever.
not Miles.
That's
Miles
him.
that's not him.
And we guess what? Normally you
shout
do
out
that,
to
you
Distance.
go back as consequences.
Yeah.
But him, we knew what it was.
We already knew.
So it's like, all right.
It is what it is. So
Shout out
we
Uncle
got back to the
Distance.
house.
Yeah.
Got back to the Brian's Pop House. I told them what happened. I said, yeah, the paddy wagon was on my ass through the field. So we got to call Miles. I don't know where he's at. And we called Miles. And he was like, yeah. He's like, I'm in the house. I'm good. He was like, but the cops stopped me. And he's like, I told him I ain't had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I ain't
cool.
running.
Yeah, he said, I ain't running. Because he's like, I ain't running.
Yeah.
Which was, cool. We already knew how Miles was. But, that was that. We got through that.
Sorry.
But
so go back. I was just saying that.
But the McDonald's story. How McDonald's came about is because one of the things that my dad always told me, he's like, don't ever get involved with drugs. You get involved with drugs, I ain't touching you with a 10-foot pole. Mm-hmm. And that stuck in my head. So one night I'm walking down Nae's block one night, and his brother G was like, "Yo," he's like, "Come here, Cal." I'm like, "What's up, G?" He's like, "Yo, why don't you start hustling for me and get your crew to start hustling for you?"
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "Cause you seem like you got some type of influence on them, this, that, and the other." And I'm like, "Nah, I ain't doing that. Like, my pop kill me if I do that."
Mm-hmm.
That night, I get home, and I say to my dad, "I'm like, yo," I was like, I gotta get a job." He was like, why? I said, I just think it's just time for me to get a job. I never told him why. He knows the story now, but I never told him why. I was like, I just need to get a job. I said, I'm take my friends with me. He was like, all right, what you gonna do? I said, probably go to McDonald's or something like that. And he's like, I said, I don't want to work in a fast food spot in the neighborhood, near us, because back in the day, you get clowned if you worked at a fast food spot. Like, that's what people did. Like, they clowned you for working in a fast food spot. So I went to the outskirts, got the job, pulled Brian in, pulled Nae, pulled Raheem, pulled Miles.
All white neighborhood.
Yeah, all white neighborhood, all over again. So pulled Miles in, we got Frog in there, and then we started getting people from 80th Street, like our homies from 80th Street started coming in. But the one homie that we wanted to come with us didn't come.
Yeah.
He was like, no, man, that money too slow. I need this street money. I need this, that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, man. But like the crazy thing is, McDonald's we was getting so much money at McDonald's that we looked like we was selling dope.
Yeah.
How?
How what? How do we look like? Because we had the jewelry, we had the glasses.
No. Like, how was y'all making the crazy money at
It don't matter. We got a paycheck.
We don't get into that.
We got a paycheck.
Yeah, but it was other ways too.
But we got a paycheck.
Yeah.
I get it.
We got a paycheck. We got a paycheck. We got
need to know
paid
the
every
game,
2
so I
we
can
got
probably
paid.
apply that
We
now.
got paid every 2 weeks. We was 15, 16 years old.
Put it
got
this way.
paid
Right.
every 2
Put it this
weeks.
way.
No. Got paid every 2 weeks, and we was working full-time hours. So we was pulling at 15, 16 years old. We was pulling in like between $400 and $600 every 2 weeks.
I'm convinced. Convince me otherwise. And I'm talking nationwide. Now, this may be a little bit full of ourselves. I'm convinced that little TV y'all see now, is your order correctly, is because of us.
Oh, yeah. I agree with that.
I'm sorry. Yo,
I agree with that.
I'm telling you. I could be wrong.
No. I
that
agree
little
with
TV,
that.
I'm not going to go into detail. I'm just telling you right
Okay,
now.
say less.
Because of our squad, that little TV right now that you see with your order coming up and you see what you see, is that price correct? That is because of us. Convince me otherwise. And y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yo, shut up.
Right?
Anyway, now I don't know what you're talking about.
But is it facts or not?
Plead the fifth.
Is it facts though?
The TV
I think so.
I agree, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Plead the fifth.
So anyway, my cigar went out. But anyway, yeah, so that was the thing. I'm good for right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so we got into McDonald's and we made money. Like, we made legit money. And that's the story. Like, that's the story how we got there, because I knew I didn't want the street life for me, because I seen what the street life did, because the Jamaican posses and all of that stuff happening in West Philly, dudes coming up short on they packs and they getting killed.
But even if you was making legit money, you was still a target.
Yeah, of course.
We had these cops from our neighborhood. Remember, we had Batman and Robin,
Cagney and Lacey.
They would come. We'd be at this place we go hang out called Flower Ladies. They would pull up on Flower Ladies in that Ford Bronco.
Yep, that was Terminator.
Yep, Terminator, and because he can run.
He would chase you down,
and he wouldn't run fast. It was like a jog.
Yep,
and it's like, how is this dude?
Big strides.
So they'll pull up. And you think about this now in the whole woke era and the Black Lives Matter and stuff, like, how does this even happen? How do we allow this to happen? They literally will come up and just say, all right, y'all know the routine, get on the hood. Spread on a hot hood, and then they'll get them long nightsticks. I remember this like it was yesterday, them long nightsticks. And open up our pants and then go like this. Jam it. All in our private and everything to see if they can find something. And we kids, bro. We like 12, 13, and we thought it was normal.
Wow.
I've been called nigger by the cops more than anybody. And then, I never forget my brother, this is right before he kind of started going down the other path. He had a filler job, and he had a paycheck. He had just got paid. Filler job back in the day for y'all.
Wasn't he working at Dunkin' Donuts?
I think so.
Yeah.
So he had his first paycheck. We were out there, and he had his money, pay stub and everything. And they was like, where you get this money? He had like $180 or something like $200 or whatever. He said, I just got paid for it. And one of the cops took his money out of his pocket, ripped it up into little pieces, and dropped it in front of him. Wow. I never forget, that night I heard my brother, it was the first time I ever heard him cry. He was in another room crying, trying to tape his money back together. Wow. And that just made him so, because everybody know my brother, he was full of hate. Like, I love my brother to death, but he had so much hate in him.
I got a story about G.
And I'll never forget just the hate. Like, that's what made him to where he was. Like, And man, I'll never forget that story.
I'm gonna tell you how much hate G had in him, right? One day I'm walking up Waxwing coming from 7-Eleven, and I see G standing at a tree, underneath a tree with a brick in his hand, looking up at the tree. And I'm like, G, what you doing? He's like, that squirrel just scratched my face up. You see all these scratches on my face? That squirrel, I'm gonna get that squirrel. He threw the brick up at the tree, knocked the squirrel out the tree, and smashing the squirrel with the brick. Like, got you, bitch, got you. Like,
oh my God.
Yeah, he was on some different stuff. Yeah.
G was avenged. Like he would seek revenge, and he wouldn't stop until he got what he wanted.
Yeah,
like he wouldn't stop until he got what he wanted.
And had a memory like
like he ain't forget nothing.
Oh
my God.
Yeah. He wouldn't forget nothing.
Yeah.
So all right, man, that was a lot to digest. As you can see, my cigar is running low, and I'm about to re-up because I got more. Yeah. Anyway, so
we got more stories.
More stories. We got more cigars. So it's Smoking Sundays, and we'll be right back. Rolling.
I can't wait until we gotta get Raheem. We got
everybody.
Donnell got to come up
because they got good memories too. My memory sucks. They got real good memories. Like
y'all let me know. We'll set it up.
Miles, Frog. We gotta get Frog. Frog got stories.
Yeah.
And we are back. Another special Smoking Sundays live from the 215. It's me, Cool Guy P, and I got my guys, my uncles, Nae Brown, commercial air pilot, and then Calvin Purnell Jr., esteemed author and motivational speaker. Hey, I just let y'all know, and this is a humble flex for me, I rolled around some big wigs, because I feel like that's the best thing to do. You know, when you're trying to be successful in life, you got to hang around people that inspire you and motivate you. And for me, I'm very blessed and thankful enough to be able to say that the people that are in prominent positions, I know them personally, and I'm just very thankful for that. So getting back to that, you know, I want to talk about how important it is to keep your circle tight. Now, if people leave, you know, that's cool. We don't force them to stay. We circle the block, and hopefully when we come back around, then they can see what type of time you guys are on and hop in the ride, if that makes sense. So, you know, Calv, I throw it to you. You know, how important is it to keep your circle tight, especially growing up and keeping yourselves on that straight and narrow path?
Yeah, I mean, I always kept my circle tight. Like, I never was the type of dude. I know a lot of people, right? Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people. A lot of times I'll go places, and Christy will tell you this. She'll be like, we can't go nowhere without you running into somebody you know. Mm-hmm. Like, I ain't saying that, you know, to brag or anything. I just know a lot of people. But just because I know a lot of people don't mean I fuck with a lot of people. Mm-hmm. But I've always kept my circle tight because, one, I'm an introvert, and then for two, it's like, which my dad always told me, you should be able to count your best friends on one hand.
Absolutely.
And that's, well, even though my best friends, I consider I have 6 best friends. So technically it was 7 of us. And to this day, we still tight. Mm-hmm. Like, we're still tight. Everybody went their own path, but no matter how much time goes before, you know, between us speaking, we always pick up where we left off.
Absolutely.
And I always say I measure my relationships and my friendships based on that. Mm-hmm. Right? If somebody comes to me, if I see somebody, I'm like, yo, how come you ain't called me? I'm like, ding, 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 you ain't a friend. Because first of all, the phone works both ways.
Absolutely.
You know, and if you're in a situation where you're asking me, how come, yo, I ain't heard from you in a minute, how come you ain't called me? Like, well, fuck, how come you ain't called me? If that's the case, right? So keeping your circle tight eliminates a lot of bullshit and drama. Mm-hmm. You know, and I ain't for all that. I ain't for a bunch of drama. I mean, I have my fair share of it, but I ain't for it for real. I keep it at a distance as much as possible.
Shout out to Uncle Distance, by the way.
Uncle Distance just text me. I gotta text him back.
Uncle Distance. Yeah, I gotta hit him back too. He hit me earlier. Yeah. But yeah, like it's important. It's very important because when you keep yourself around a bunch of people, and you know trying to keep up with everybody,
yeah,
it's too much work. Mm-hmm. It's too much work, and then that's where the drama comes in.
Yeah.
You know, and as an adult, like you don't want that in your life. And as a family man, you don't want that in your life. You know, my kids are grown, but my kids don't my kids know. They know my closest friends. Mm-hmm. You know, they know them. They know who they are. Mm-hmm. And they know that they can call my closest friends if something happens to me.
Right.
And they know, they'll be like, you know, they'll call them up and be like, yo, you know, something happened to my dad, blah, 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 blah. I know my friends will come through, you know, without a doubt. No questions asked. Mm-hmm. And I will do the same for them. They'll call me up and like, yo, I need you to do this, that, and the other. Like, TV hit me up. He was going through some stuff. He hit me up with some situation, and he was like, yo, my daughter, this, that. And I said, say less. Mm-hmm. Where I got to go? How much I got to give up? What is it?
I will always do. Remember on Hot 97 they had...
I'm curious to find out who TV is.
I need a ride or die. You know who TV
you know who
is.
TV is. You interviewed him for the...
Okay. Yeah. I just had to make sure. Go ahead.
Come on, man.
Listen.
All right, come on. All right.
Blame Hen Dog.
Do you still know who it is?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Blame Hen Dog, okay?
All right, so just in case you're still curious, just in case you think you know who it is,
we can talk about it off camera.
It's the one who didn't go to McDonald's with us.
Yeah.
Say less.
Okay.
Right.
So... yeah, I know, right? So your circle...
That's what I said. We say it
your
off camera.
circle should be like... Who's in my wedding?
I thought about that
If
too.
I get married.
Yeah.
Who's in my wedding?
Yeah, I thought about that.
I would say...
Absolutely.
Man... I have... So, obviously, what goes without saying...
I gotta pause you there, because I fucked up. My first wedding, I fucked up, and I left one brother out. And I shouldn't have at all. And to this day, I still regret that, but no love was lost. Like, we had our little stint, and I don't even know what it was. I was on some bullshit. I ain't even gonna lie. I was on some bullshit.
I know what that is. Yeah.
And, like, I should not have done that, but that's... He know. He called me. I called him. Just saw him 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Slid through, but it's just like, you know, like I said, you pick up where you left off. It don't matter.
But you grow.
Exactly.
You can't. And one thing you gotta understand too is like, cause Cal I'm sure he got some best friends that I don't know. Mm. Like one of my closest friends also is Mike, comedian. Me and Mike, I knew Mike for 23 years.
That's my guy.
Mike is like one of my closest friends.
Right.
I knew Mike before he even did any of this shit, and it's like because we spent so much time together. And then, like, when I moved, they were still here. So I have my day one. Like, they my day one. That's irreplaceable.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And that's like grandfather and best friend.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Him, Frizz, TV.
It's the tool up
Chaz.
friends.
Yeah.
It's the tool up friends.
And then, like, Mike's my bestie.
Men don't say bestie, y'all.
Just kind of, yeah.
But he kind of very.
Because, man, I can't even explain our friendship. It's just like, we talk about so much stuff that nobody knows about. Like, we indulge and go deep in stuff that, man. Mm-hmm. And you
Good
have to
talk.
have that, especially, now me, I'm just a guy I'm just a regular dude, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, Cal and them, like, they know me. Mm-hmm. His friendship, and we go back so far, because he's so much in the spotlight, he don't have anybody that he can be completely candid with, because he's always on. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So he's off when we talk, like, yo.
Yeah, like he can let his hair down and just be him. Right.
So again, like, that is totally different. Mm-hmm. And I have a couple others that just like, man. And I didn't know, like, man, I tell you what, man, it feels good to just know you got some. But we used to call this, all right, remember back in Hot 97, they had this, I need a ride or die chick. And it was like, you call a person up with an emergency, like, yo, this happened, I need it. And they don't hesitate.
I got a story.
So I think I hit
Tupac
I had Mike with that. I said, Mike, yo, I'm about to get locked out. I need $5,000. And the first thing, it's funny because the first thing is like, you stupid motherfucker, why? Okay, where do I send the money? And that was it. And it's like, you hate to put your friendship on a financial thing, because
Right.
it shouldn't be that.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's just the fact, and I immediately like, yo, I'm only playing.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that, are you there for me?
Right.
Yeah.
You hit me with that bullshit
I
last
hit you with
year.
that.
Last
And he
fucking year.
answered, yeah.
I was asleep.
Yeah.
It was like midnight. It was midnight. It was after midnight. This motherfucker calls me up.
I gotta try that with my friends.
Yo, that's a
Yo.
listen.
No, you might not want to.
You might not want to do that.
Now,
you might get your feelings
Thank
hurt.
God. Thank God.
makes sense.
Everybody I tried it with. The funny thing about it though, the people I tried it with, I knew would come through.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, I'm gonna do this. Damn, I'm gonna be disappointed if
I don't say 5,000. I'll probably say like 4.
him,
Yo, he called
BY, no questions asked. Like, all right, I got you.
Yeah.
Mike gave me the you stupid motherfucker, but where I'll send it. He's the only one. You know what I'm saying? But Cal came through. So, but you got to be careful, cousin nephew,
you
because
can get your feelings hurt.
you can get your feelings
That's what
hurt.
I'm saying.
But
I won't do 5,000.
But that's
I'll
why
probably do 40.
But that's why I said don't put. It shouldn't be a
worth
financial thing on
Maybe
friendship.
$20.
So I'm putting it out there. Friendship shouldn't be financial things. I'm just using it for an example. It shouldn't be financial because it shouldn't be. I was using it for an example.
But But there are times when and I still can't get over the fact that you did that shit to me. And let me just tell this fucking story. He called me. It was where were we? We're in May. It was like May, June time. May or June. He calls me after midnight. Now, everybody knows I'm asleep by like 10:30. He calls me after midnight, and my phone is ringing, and I answer the phone. I'm like, hello? He's like, Cal, you sleep? I'm like, yeah, what's up? You all right? Nah, man, I'm about to get locked up. I need you to come. I'm like, where you at?
Yo,
like, I got out the bed. I'm like, where you at?
Yo, I had to talk him down.
I was on some shit. Like, and I can't even carry a gun no more. I was ready to go get one. Like where we gotta that's the mindset that I was on.
Yeah.
And he hit me with that. Nah, he was like, no, I'm just joking. But yo, tell such whatever. And but yeah.
I
but
would
then
be so hot.
I was hot because I'm like, I don't like my sleep disturbed.
Me too.
So
That's why I would be hot.
And he hit me with the, man, you motherfucker, I'll call you tomorrow.
Yeah.
You got mad at me.
Yeah, I was mad at
But
him.
I was happy, like, oh, my baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? That's what I thought. I knew he'd come through.
Time out.
But there are
I'm
times.
sorry, real quick. No man calls another man.
No, you can.
I'm just
you
sorry.
can. You can call him. That's my baby.
Very.
listen,
No, it's not.
It ain't. Because
No, it's
you
not.
got love.
Nah,
When you love your
Nah,
friends.
I disagree, nephew.
Like,
Yeah,
I
it's my
disagree
baby.
because we got like my friends, like my best friends.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, like we'll hang up, we have a serious conversation. All right, man, I love you. And a lot of people don't do that. A lot of dudes don't do that. And you tell your fucking friends you love them. Like, straight up. Tell them you love them.
It's one thing when you say you love them, but call them your baby, though.
But back, we're going past that. All right, but back to the money thing. There are times when you got situations where you got to give your best friend some money. It might be some money shit.
Yes.
And I had a situation like that with one of my best friends. He hit me up and was like, yo, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. I was like, all right, meet me on my block. Like, meet me on my old block. Meet me on my old block in a circle. He met me on my old block. I said, here you go. Get the fuck out of here.
You know why, though? You know why though? I say you love them and you like Calvin just said, that tough love is because we don't know when the end's going to be.
Exactly. You don't.
One of the things that to this day makes me feel good is that text we got from Brian right before he passed. It's like he knew.
Right now. He knew.
Brian texted us, and he never. We all have a group text, right? And usually he's always responding later or whatever. He let off with the. He'll get it. It was like I'm a paraphrase here, but like yo, Happy New Year. I love y'all. We got to get together more this year. Blah blah blah. It was like a goodbye message. He never does that.
He never did
but
that.
do you know how good that made me feel?
Never did that.
Because he got some shit off and like that. Because normally we don't really be like that. He got it off.
Yeah, he and you can't tell me Brian didn't know he was nobody can tell me he didn't know he was going to die soon. Like he knew his days. He knew he had like days left.
Wow.
December 26th. 2019, he sent a text message. All right, fellas, 2020 is next week. And we're all still here and kicking. That's a blessing, brothers. Tipping my glass to y'all for health, wealth, and most important, family. Stay up. Love y'all. Brian never. He never told any of us that. And that's my best fucking friend. His mom and my mom and Buffy's mom was bumping bellies with us while they were pregnant with us.
Wow.
He never told me he loved me, ever. And I never told him, but we knew it.
We knew it.
But when he sent that message, we didn't think anything of it. We responded back, love you back. You know, whatever. But
and then what?
And then
17 days later?
No. Not even 17 days later. 9 days later, he passed away. 9 days later, he passed. He knew. He knew. And then when I look back at the text messages from the month of December of 2019, and I'm reading the text messages, and he's telling me stuff about, you know, gotta get my health back, this, that, and the other. Like, I sent him a text. I was like, yo, I'm sitting here eating these crack chocolate covered pretzels. He's like, you eating those Utz pretzels, chocolate covered? Because let me tell you something. Christmas time, when Utz come out with a bucket of chocolate covered pretzels,
right,
do not get them.
That's like me with the tasty cake cookies. Them tasty cake cookies. Oh my God, with some eggnog.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, go
but
ahead.
anyway, like that text
Christmas
message.
time need to hurry up.
Those text messages Brian and I exchanged in December.
Yeah.
When I reread them after he passed away, I was like, he was telling me he was dying without telling me he was dying.
Real quick.
And then
just 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Uncle Brian.
Yes, sir. Chaz. B-Man.
But
all right, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he hit me, you know, going back and forth with that. He was telling me his situation, like health wise. And then one day he texted me and was like, yo, I'm sitting here eating this, that, and the other. I'm like, why are you eating that knowing that you got to get your diet together? I think he was on the joint like, man, fuck it.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, I know I only got like 30 days left. I'm going to just do what I want to do. And then the game that I took you to in December, I think they played the Sixers played the Mavericks.
Yeah.
I was trying to get Brian to go to that game with me. And then you was at the game. And then
oh yeah, I remember that game.
Yeah.
We took that picture.
Yeah, we took the picture.
We took the picture. But I was trying to get him to go to the game, and he was just like, nah, I don't get off work until 7. I can't get there by that time or whatever. And I'm like, all right, cool.
That's another dude that was always too busy.
Yeah, he was always too busy.
And that's another thing. Yeah, and I would try to, and one thing, that text made me feel good, but the one thing is like they all went down there to go breakfast with him,
Yeah,
and I didn't go, and that used to bother me.
It was just me and Donnell. Me and Donnell went to breakfast with him.
Yeah,
that day in October. It was October, and then me and Buffy ended up. That was mid-October. I think we did that, and then me and Buffy met up with him October 1st of 2019, and I thank God that we did that. And the crazy thing,
I remember seeing that picture. Y'all was in the parking lot.
Me,
you, Brian, and Buffy.
No, we was in the restaurant that time. But
I'm thinking about the picture you and Brian in the parking lot.
That was a while ago because I had the Alpinas on. He had the Porsche designs on. That took us back to the early 90s when we was rocking that shit, working at McDonald's, looking like we was drug dealers. It's important. It's important to make sure that you make time for your friends, like your core.
I call my friend my babies. I do that.
It
ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm a fucking man. Ain't no get. You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
But it's like, Cal, that's my baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't, man.
Let me tell you something. I have a special bond with my core friends, like my core best friends. I have a special bond with them. And each of them know what that bond is. And I can run it down. Like me and Brian, A1, day one from the rip.
From birth.
From birth. Like from birth. You know, Ricky, A1, day one from birth. My cousin, God rest his soul. Raheem, me and him our relationship is on an emotional side. Like he's my best friend that I know I can call up and I can cry with him. He could cry with me. We could talk about certain shit. And it ain't, all right, what you need me to do? I'm all right. Fuck it.
He was definitely the emotional friend.
Raheem was the emotional friend.
I remember seeing
Raheem.
I would hear. I'm sorry. I would hear him at the wall arguing with somebody.
Oh, he's on. Yeah,
and I'm on like greedy.
Now I tell you what though, I'm gonna give him his props because he's the one that got me into saying, "Yo, love you."
Yeah,
he'll say it in a minute.
Yeah,
and I'm like, "Ew, gay." Back in the day. And then like, nah, it's cool though.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He was the first
the
one
first
that
one.
kind of be like, all right.
Yeah.
Now a lot of my friends, I say like, yo, love you gang.
No, but
you know what I'm saying?
I tell you, like, that's missing in today's society.
It is.
With black men.
Yeah.
It's, we always got to have this testicular moniker about us.
But with your
You know what
friends,
I'm
you
saying?
shouldn't have to have that.
Absolutely.
Like the people that you call your friends, like your circle, it's funny because a homie of ours put up a post and said it was a picture of a nickel and a picture of a dime. And it says, of course, the nickel is bigger than a dime. And it's like, your circle, even though your circle shrinks, it doesn't mean it decreases in value.
That's good. That's really
And
good.
I was like, yo, that's real. So I
That's
liked
really
it.
good.
When I like something, when I like a post, I'll put, and people put 100 up, I'll put 1,000. Like I'll put 10 100s up. That's 1,000. I'll put 1,000 up for that. So then he put up another John. I can't remember exactly what the post was. Mm-hmm. It was something along those lines too. It was another post that he put up, and I said that's exactly why my circle decreased from a 50-cent piece to a dot. Like a dot. If you take a pencil and put a dot on a piece of paper, that's how big my circle is.
To piggyback on that, I started looking at like just life and when you're trying to be successful. I look at it like it's a cone. When you're at the bottom, that's when your circle is huge.
Pyramid.
That's when it's
Pyramid.
huge.
It has
you got
no value.
Because you're so vulnerable.
But as soon as you
let everybody in. You let everybody in.
But as soon as you ascend, that circle gets smaller.
It gets smaller.
Until you at the top, and then it's just that dot.
It's the dot.
Yeah.
It's the dot. And that's the part. That's how you can tell. Like the people who like Nae. Just to go back to just to go back to
sound like it hurt.
Just to go back to the connections, like I have life and death experiences with a lot of my friends. Mm-hmm. But I have a true, like a life and death experience with this dude right here. Like a real life and death experience where
we didn't even tell that story.
We didn't tell that story, but we're about to tell it now. Like God spoke to me that night. I don't even know how old we were. All I know is we were in the 7th grade.
No.
Yeah, we were in the 7th grade.
It was further.
No. I'm telling you, we were in the 7th grade because
quick, you're about to get a preview of what's in the movie, but go ahead.
Yeah, we were in the 7th grade, and I tell you this because I know for a fact, because when I went to school, because it was a Sunday night, when I went to school the next day, one of my homies that I've known since the 3rd grade, it was his neighborhood that came into our neighborhood, and I was in the 7th grade class with him, and I was like, yo, when I went to school the next day, I was like, yo, I said, your old heads came through our neighborhood last night and they stabbed somebody up.
Wait, no, you jumped ahead.
I'm not, but I'm telling you, I'm gonna go back. And I said they stabbed somebody up. And he was like, you was out there? I was like, no. I said I ran, and I got out of there. And I said, me and my homie, we got out of there. And he was like, man, I'm glad y'all got out of there. He's like, because when they came back home, they was talking about how they got somebody. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I knew where they went. And he was like, and I was hoping it wasn't you or somebody close to you. So that night that happened, it was just me and Nae at the wall. Like we was at the wall. We was bullshitting, shooting around, and then we started laughing and geeking off or whatever.
We got some Chinese food.
Yeah, had chicken wings. chicken wings. Sitting on the blocks. We was sitting on the
blocks. Niggas
blocks.
will die over chicken wings.
Yeah. We was sitting on the blocks. On the blocks.
They put the blocks
up. They put the blocks up. So we was sitting on the blocks and we laughing, ha ha, he eating the chicken wings. And I happened to go like this.
It's probably like 10:30, right?
Yeah, it was
at night.
It was like 10:30. I happened to turn around and look down 68th Street, like all you see is the Ice Cube lynch mob coming down 68th Street.
That's
silhouette. The silhouette. That's all you see. I said, Nae, we got to get the fuck out of here. He turned around and he was like, man, that's just my brother now eating his chicken wings. I said, no, we got to get the fuck out of here. Because, like, I'm telling you, God spoke to me and was like, bounce.
We shouldn't be here.
We should, like
like this story right here. We shouldn't be here.
We shouldn't be here.
We shouldn't be here. So I'm gonna pick up from that. We sitting there eating. Cal because like I said, Cal was like the dad. Cal was always bitching. I'm gonna keep it 100.
I wasn't bitching.
I had
intuition. I wasn't bitching. I had intuition.
I'm just saying, Cal He was that dude like, let's rather be wrong and be safe than unsafe and right. Mm-hmm. So Cal like, let's just bounce. I'm like, nah, that's my brother. Them. Keep eating. These motherfuckers getting closer. Closer. We down there eating.
I grabbed his ass and
So we go to the back of the wall, and then anybody know how the wall is? We go to the back. We go up to like the vestibule. Kind of come around. We go down by Distance House. We go back behind Distance House. We go on Lindbergh, and the way it's set up, we come back and we're behind them dudes because we know the one thing about our neighborhood, right? The one thing about our neighborhood, if anybody was to come in there and do dumb shit, it's one way in and one way out.
Wow.
If you don't know it,
if you don't know it,
you stuck.
In your mind, if you coming in your mind, there's only one way in and one way out. Mm-hmm. But in our minds, because we know the neighborhood, we know how to get the fuck out of there.
So we come behind them. Now, I told y'all earlier in this interview, I'm the slowest. So we come around. Next thing you know, we behind these cats. All I hear is one of the dudes say, "Did them niggas go right there?" So like a movie, me and Cal do this. Bump into each other. I run this way, he runs that way. Next thing you know, I go into a yard because I couldn't run. And I jump by Distance House. I jump into the yard.
Right.
And it's a dog in a fence. Hurt, like this close to me. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. And I just see these feet running past me. So I'm thinking, oh shit. So I waited. 10 minutes later, I hear ambulance. I said, they got Cal.
And then, let me pick up from there. Where I ran
real quick. So, how are you the slowest, but you played 4 years of basketball, college basketball
He's still slow.
I'm slow. I can shoot. Basketball ain't no track meet. It's about maneuvering, man. You know what I'm saying? So, go ahead, pick it up.
So where I ran down Lindbergh and I was getting ready to run up Raheem's steps because he lived on Lindbergh, and something said, "No, get under the car." So I ran and I got under the car between his garage and the back of the car. So I'm under the car, hiding under the car, and dudes running by me. I hear dudes say, "Go over by the train tracks. Check over by the train tracks." And then I hear somebody say, "Man, they got B90 on us."
B90.
Like they hit B90 on us. So I'm sitting there under the car. And then I hear an ambulance. And I'm like, fuck, they got Nae. So I'm like, all right, at this point, if an ambulance came, they probably left. It's safe to come out. I knock on Raheem's door. His grandpa opens the door. I run up the steps in the house past his grandpa. He's like, "Calvin, what's wrong with you?" I said, "They got Nae. We got to go out. We got to go check on Nae. It's an ambulance. They got Nae." And they were like, "What happened?" I was like, "I don't know. These dudes came through and they got Nae. We got to go check on Nae." So Raheem was like, "Get Star." That's his dog. Doberman Pinscher. Star comes up the steps and we go outside and we start looking and we run into Nae. And it was like a relief because it was like, all right, cool, you good. Like, all right, who the ambulance for? Mm-hmm. You know, if they ain't get you and they ain't get me, who the fuck did they get? And again, like I said, we was 7th grade. We was in 7th grade. And if they would have got us, we would have died.
They got this dude in our neighborhood. I'm not gonna say his name, and they poked him up like 9-10 times.
He was a big dude. He was a big dude,
and he's a big guy. That's the EMS says the only thing I saved his life is because he's big.
He was big,
but they stabbed him up like 10 times. And do you know how that even started? This is how.
Over some bullshit.
Because somebody called. So the one girl, I'm not gonna say her name. The one girl had a baby with one of the dudes from the projects.
Was it Pascal or Larchwood?
Over here, across the street, Larchwood.
Larchwood, okay.
So one of our old heads, one of our old heads called the baby ugly.
He was a
baby ugly. I'ma get my baby daddy, blah, blah, blah. So we saw it all go down. We saw it all happen. I mean, my baby daddy, he gonna come in, he gonna do this. over some bullshit because he called the baby ugly. But that's just the mentality of here in Philadelphia. None of people die over disrespect. Over so-called disrespect, people die. It's the most disregard for human life. What is respect? What is it? Like, so to me, when that went down, I was like, yo, because when that happened, I'm like, man. And after all that happened, like almost near death, we wake up and we gotta do this shit like Groundhog Day. We gotta do it all over again. And it's like, where does this shit end? And shout out to like kids is in North Philly, West Philly, like that's going through this shit every single day. To me, and it's worse now than it was when we were young.
Yeah, they have no regard for life.
Because now they shooting.
Yeah.
So they could have just
They shooting just cause.
Shooting, and they were shooting back then. But back then, if you shot, like, these dudes were so mad, they didn't want to shoot. They wanted it up close and personal. Yeah. They wanted to stab somebody. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I always talk about that story. And you know what's crazy? I think that enhanced me and Kyle's relationship. Because we went through some shit. And we giving y'all just the vanilla of the story.
The vanilla story.
But it was so emotional and like, how do we get out of this situation? How did this even happen? And if, once again, that left and that right, if we could have just one thing, we could have just waited another minute or whatever, we wouldn't be here.
And they wouldn't have recognized us as kids.
No.
Wow. They would have just recognized us as bodies. Like, you were out there, we got you.
That's crazy.
And that's all. That's what it would have been. It wouldn't have been recognized adults coming at us as kids. Like, they would have been like, you out here, we here for some damage.
And it was always a history with our neighborhood and that neighborhood. Always. Where y'all at now? Up in this area, 70th Street, 80th Street, and our neighborhood. It was always this history. And the crazy thing about it is everybody know each other. They all go to school together, but it's just together. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was like so much nonsense.
That's crazy.
But
so, real quick, we're going to take a quick break. That's right. This camera's dead, so we're going to go to this break. So we're going to take a quick break and recharge the bags real quick, and we'll be right back. Smoking Sundays. And we are back to finally wrap up this super dope Smoking Sundays. It felt good for me to be able to just sit back and just listen to these stories, you know, because that's the main thing about these cigars. You share a conversation, you share stories, and you get to learn, you know. And I feel like I learned a lot. I learned a lot about you, you know, and your journey into being a pilot, and then just rehashing old stories that I've only heard little bits of, but seeing the full scope of it, it's just like, man, this is a part of Southwest that I can somewhat relate to, but I've never heard the meat and potatoes of it. You know, like, I kind of share your story about being at the wall and playing basketball, because shout out my guys, the cool guys. You know, y'all are Sean, William, James, DeWine, Carlton, Cedric, all y'all. But, yeah, like, how y'all took over the wall, like, me and my squad, we took over the wall in kind of the same way. But we didn't share the racism that y'all had the experience, because when we was coming up, we just had nothing but my African folks. Shout out to Liberia. But anyway,
man, the wall could talk.
Man, I'm sure.
If the wall could talk,
I'm sure that sounds like the name of a new documentary.
Yo, bing.
Anyway,
that's a whole that's 3 podcasts right there. If we tell stories in the wall,
right?
That's
people lost their virginity at the wall.
Wow.
Oh.
He just skeeted in his pants. Memories.
Oh my God. Yo, damn, that's fat. Yo, the wall.
You know what? We may have to do a part 2 and a part 3 of this, where we get some more people from the wall.
Yes.
Because, and just real quick, so the wall, just to give some more context, the wall was a playground in the neighborhood of Southwest 68th Street, right off of 68th in Lindbergh. And basketball court, slide, you know, whole playground set, whatever. But it was a lot of stuff that went on, you know, in that area, in that playground.
Let me say this. It was the minimalist of minimalist playgrounds.
Yeah. It was a basketball court, a swing set,
A swing set.
A minimal. Well, I think they
A
just put
sliding board.
A sliding
And
board.
3 monkey bars.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like now they kind of, I wouldn't say even kind of, but they put a little play set there. I don't even think they even have the swings anymore.
They try to get rid of the wall.
Yeah, they try to get. And the craziest part is,
like 2 years ago, they just put lights back up.
the crazy part about the wall is it wasn't even like our neighborhood wasn't the hoodest of the hood of Southwest. Like it really wasn't. It wasn't.
Right.
You know, because
People say driveways.
yeah, we had driveways, 3-story houses. Like the white neighborhood that was up from us, they had 2-story houses. They didn't have driveways.
Street parking.
We had backyards. I don't think they had backyards. I think they had driveways.
It was
back driveways.
It was the back alley. Yeah,
the back alleys. They didn't have what we had,
Yup.
and we were majority a black neighborhood. We had some white people in our neighborhoods, a few speckles here and there.
We had 2.
Yeah, well,
Keith Durkee.
No, it was more than that. I
No,
mean,
it
if you think about the
Keith Durkee. Shout out to Keith Durkee.
No, but if you think about the radius of our neighborhood, there was more white people. There were more than 2 white families in our neighborhood. Because on my block, we had a few white people on Grossbeak. There was
I had one white person.
Yeah, you had Dudu.
DeCarlo.
Dudu was on
Dudu
70th
wasn't.
Street.
We had Steve DeCarlo. We had Steve DeCarlo.
Okay.
Shout out to DeCarlo. We had Steve DeCarlo on my street. And then we had Keith Durkee on Finch. That was it. Maybe up where you was at.
Yeah, up our street, it was a few white families, but then the next block over,
Shout out to Keith Durkee though, because Keith Durkee,
I don't even know where Keith Durkee is.
Keith Durkee was in the hood.
He was in the hood,
but
with
he
us.
still was a white boy.
Yeah.
He didn't switch up.
He rumbled with us.
Yeah,
he rumbled.
But they
with
was
us.
they was like, what's that boy name?
Traitor. No,
they was like, who's American Badass? What's the white dude's name? They was like, he was like a straight up white dude. He wasn't like trying to be
he didn't cover. He didn't try to switch.
Cool.
He knew who he was.
Yes.
He stayed true to himself.
Yes. Him and his brothers, crazy ass brothers.
Yeah, and let me tell you something about them. They were tractor trailer drivers, dudes. Like Keith Durkee can tell you anything about a tractor trailer.
Wow.
All I know is Mack truck, and it was like Peterbilt. Like I learned about these tractor trailers because of Keith. But he never tried to do the cover. He wasn't the white dude that tried to act black. That was not him. He wasn't. That was not him. And I love that about him.
Authenticity.
He was very authentic. He was very authentic. It was something, and that was one of the things that.
How uncomfortable was it for them?
For who?
For him and his family.
They were comfortable.
That's the thing. But think about that. They was in the hood and they was surrounded by all blacks. But it's crazy. We didn't associate. We didn't even look at him like we were messing with him like, oh, white dude. But he was one of us.
He was one of us. He rumbled with us when we rumbled with the white dude.
He rumbled. Yeah, he was. Yeah, I wonder where he at. But shout out to him, DeCarlo, Dudu.
Yeah,
but Dudu was up on the other side.
He was on 70th Street.
But Dudu was.
G gave Dudu that name because Dudu wore sweatpants.
What's his real name?
Bryant. No, I don't know what his name was. What the
Joey.
Fuck? Was it
Joey?
Was Joey?
Yeah, Joey.
Okay, so
where did y'all get Dudu from?
Because the way he ran.
His name. No, it wasn't
Yes,
the way
it was.
he ran. No,
Yes,
it wasn't.
it was.
It was the sweatpants. He always looked like he had a pile of Dudu in his sweatpants.
When he ran, it was Dudu. When he ran,
All
we
right.
played football on our street.
Yeah.
And he would run, and it like he had a bunch of
You tell me like you were a pamper. but anyway, just to round this out and wrap this up, just speaking on what we were just talking about. I've been on this thing about being authentic. Kid, we can hear that. We can hear that.
That's not me.
Dad, we can hear that.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So, like I said, just I've been on this thing about authenticity, and that's one of the major lessons that I'm learning this year is be you above all else.
That's it.
Be you, because the world is going to accept you for you, not for you trying to be somebody else, because somebody else is working for them.
Right. Let me tell you.
Find out what works for you.
What one of my co-pilots said to me.
Go ahead.
And this is some real, in so many words. So we're flying along. And when you become a captain, I'm a captain now. When you become a captain, there's no handbook. You gotta know how to handle situations. You gotta handle all. You gotta play all different sides. You gotta be a judge. You gotta be a jury. You gotta make decisions. I never forget one time we're flying along. And anybody that follows me on Instagram or anything, they know, like, I'll still do, like, kind of on purpose. Not like hood stuff, but I'll still, like, post and do things, like, because I did it on purpose, because to let you know that you can still do what I do and not switch up who you are.
Right.
I do that on purpose. Not trying to, like, dumb it down and be like straight up hood. Like, I'm not trying to do it, but kind of on purpose. Like, man, you can still be who you are. And I never forget, and he told me, he was like,
your occupation doesn't define who you are.
It doesn't.
Absolutely.
Not at all.
I can switch I can go, I have my uniform on, and I can be very professional. I can handle professional. And one thing I can do is I can fly an airplane and I can be very professional at work. I can handle situations, good or bad. And I'll never forget, my co-pilot said to me, he's like, you know what, Napoleon? I like you. I was like, because you're you. And I thought about that.
I like that.
He basically was saying, like, I fly some people and they might try to act a certain way, but you don't. I felt that what he was saying, like, and I respected him so much. And once again, I don't have to put a facade on and try. That's just who I am.
Yeah.
And, bro, if I had a GoPro camera when I walk in the Wawa on my days off in this, as opposed to when I'm about to go to work with my uniform and I walk in the Wawa. And just the difference, the line of how I get treated with my uniform on and have those wings right here and when I don't. And Calvin and I talked about this.
I tell this
and
story
we talked about this
all the
and
time.
we say, because I catch myself. I play golf or I do something. Hey, I'm Napoleon. Yeah, so what do you do? Or, hey, man, I'm a captain for blah, blah, airline. Oh, really? And then he does, hey, I'm Calvin Purnell. I work with IBM. It's like we have to validate ourselves.
Yeah.
And I catch myself like, don't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Like me for me.
Let them find out after.
But as young black men, we get so big on accept me.
Yeah.
And I gotta put this title out
Because of
there.
my title,
but I
right,
shouldn't have to do that.
Right.
But I catch myself and I do it. And I'm like, stop.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Let them fuck with you because they fuck with you. Or let them cool with you because they cool with you. Not because of who you are, what you do.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's good.
Because I don't wear, like on my days up, I don't wear Hawaiian shirt. I don't wear khakis. A lot of my friends, shout out to my other coworkers, you can tell what they do. They look like pilots. They look like that. I don't. I'm off right now. I'm on vacation. I got my beard going. I got my hair. Like I don't look like that. So, but I like that though. Right. I like that because I'm me. Yeah. And I want to be comfortable. And shout out to I don't want to say their name. Shout out to my airline. They're one of the most progressive airlines in this world.
They were
progressive.
They were at the forefront of it all.
Forefront.
Wow.
And to this day, and they just made a very announcement to even more go against the grain. And it's very unpopular decision what they just did recently. And I love them for that. I'm so proud to put that uniform on now, man, because they back and they understand like things are different. Things are changing. And I never want to sacrifice who I am because I made it this far being who I am. I'm going to continue to be who I am. Now, when I'm working and I'm in that atmosphere, I'm very professional. They don't just give that shit away to anybody.
That's true.
You work for it, you earn it. But on my days off, I can be me. I never forget one time I was flying with this white guy. His name was Ian. So with Ian. And Ian is like, yo, let's go down. We're going to meet. I was still a co-pilot this time. We were in Manchester, England. And we're going to get changed. We're going to be down here and go to dinner.
Okay. I I was about to go somewhere else, but go ahead.
He comes down, and he's one of them punk rocker guys. He comes down, hair spiked, tattoos everywhere, and he had them platform shoes like this. You guys ready? And me and the captain
Straight
was
Marilyn
like
Manson
this.
type.
I didn't recognize him, dude. I was like, who the fuck is this dude?
Right.
Yeah.
But I fuck with him because
He was authentic.
he's him.
He was
I'm
authentic.
off. I'm me.
Yeah.
I'm not working right now.
I ain't
Right.
getting
And
paid
when he
for this.
did that, I was like, cool.
Love it.
Yeah.
He's not being judged when he's not, as he shouldn't be.
Right.
I remember years ago, and I'm gonna make this quick because I wanna wrap this up. But I remember years ago seeing the video. Y'all were loading the plane up, and it was you and another pilot, and y'all were like making a video. I think it was one of Dr. Dre's songs. Y'all sitting with the face on. Y'all had the glasses on, and it was
We were singing. We were rapping. Right.
Yeah, y'all was rapping, and I'm like, see that. I love seeing that. That's what I thought you was bringing up with my man.
I try to listen. When I go into work, I fly with a new pilot, new co-pilot, and they're all tied up. Hey, Napoleon, I'm such and such. Hey, how you doing? And I break that ice because we're both away from our families.
This is true.
We're not at home. We can either go and be miserable, or we can go have a good time. There's nothing to say you can't have a good time with still doing your work, doing your job. I don't act a fool when I'm in there, when I'm in the cockpit. I have 156 bodies back there.
This is true.
I have to be accordingly. I have to be like, but you can have a good time and still be accordingly. You don't have to sacrifice one or the other.
Right.
Some people can't walk and chew gum. Some people can't define the two things.
Walk and chew gum.
You have to be able to go through the motions. And I tell you what, my background actually helped me become a captain. I've had plenty of times where I had to be the mediator in between the two. And I'm like, you know the biggest problem with anything, no matter what, with your girl, with work, with anything. One word, begin with a C. Anybody know what it is?
What, communication?
Boom.
That's it. It's communication. That's the key to everything.
How many times you got a text from somebody and it sounds fucked up? You're like, wait, what?
Me and you, when you got fucking COVID. Listen, this dude got mad at me because I kept checking on him when he had COVID. Tell the story. Because he tell the story. Fuck it.
Make it brief. So
I'll make it very brief.
Wrap it, please.
So when I had COVID, I was scared. And once again, that's something that like I found myself. Somebody sleep over there. I found myself. Damn, I'm putting y'all to sleep. Goddamn. I thought we rolling. So I had COVID, and I'm like, one thing about COVID, anybody know anything about COVID? It's like, or at least when I had it, it was like you have good days and bad days. Yeah. Not even days. You have good mornings and then bad nights. It goes and comes back.
Okay.
So then, like the 7th day, shout out to my boy Cal. Cal was there every day checking on me. I had a good day. How you doing today, bro? I'm doing good, Cal. I'm feeling real good. Actually, my spirits is getting up. So I know how this shit come and go, and it gets bad and worse. So I had a good day. It's getting good. Then he hit me with the, I'm glad you're doing good, but be careful because that shit come back like a motherfucker. You think you got the woods, and then you right back in it. I got so mad at him. Like, nigga, what? Like, you supposed to be there for me. I was so mad. I'm ready to rumble, Cal. Like, because I was already scared, and then he hit me with the, like, and I just text him back respectfully, like, keep that negative shit away from me. And then one thing about Cal that a lot of people don't do, Cal call you. A lot of cats text because they don't want the competition. Cal call, like, yo, what's good? I'm like, nah, nigga, I ain't appreciate it. Nae, fuck out of that, but you know I love you, blah, blah, blah. And he so if there was any miscommunication, he deaded that. Like, I didn't mean it that way.
Absolutely.
I'm just,
Instead
care
of
about
being
you.
quick to get in your feelings, like, no, let me.
But I admit, I was on like some plus 10 type shit because I was alerted. Like, yo, I don't want, like, so I was on some bullshit. And Cal hit me like, no, nigga, I'm not trying to be like, I'm just trying to look out for you.
Absolutely.
And I really appreciate that. And Calvin called. He don't just text. Because, like I said, things get lost in translation when you text.
This is true.
And he did that, and he was out in the open. And I like that. So, yeah.
So tell them where they can find you. At social media, if you have a website.
I mean, I'm private, but I'll accept you. I'm Instagram, NAPO14, NAPO14, same as Twitter, NAPO14. As you can see, once you go to my page says, my page is for motivational and positivity only, haters not welcome. And what I mean by that is just like, I'm here to have a good time. A lot of times, I remember one time, really quick, shout out my boy Kurt. Kurt was like, Nae, you was in Lima, Peru, post that. And I said to him, like, Kurt, I don't want to post, man. I don't want to put it out there like this. He said, nah, gang, we need that. I need to see that. I'm sitting here doing my job, but I want to see where you at. I see the world through your eyes. And ever since then, I post. Look where I'm at. Look what I'm doing. Boom, boom, boom. Not on some shit like, look at
bragging.
me. It's on some shit like, I want my whole neighborhood and everybody that loves me to come and enjoy this journey with
I wrote
me.
about that in my book. I wrote about that in my book.
Yeah, tell them where they can find you too, and talk about your book briefly.
Yeah, so just for the book, like with Nae, like because he's an international pilot, he's flying all over the world. He put a lot of us who don't have an opportunity to see the world. He put us there when he goes there, and that's one of the things that I really enjoy. Like, he put a pic. I remember he was in Paris. He posted a picture about he was in a hotel and the Eiffel Tower was like right
there.
down the street.
I remember seeing that. Yup.
I was like, I'm gonna get there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna figure it out. And I got to Paris. I went to Paris.
Wow.
And I enjoyed myself in Paris.
In Paris.
Had a good time. Niggas in Paris.
Yep. But it's sometimes you're so far into the situation you don't look at it. I never forget I was going there one day, and then I think it was Pooh. It was somebody, and they said, yo, we going to this somewhere to go hang out. And I was mad. I said, man, fuck, I got to fly to Paris tonight on some bullshit. He was like, excuse me. You guys want and I didn't look at it that way. I'm like, damn, like, I'm really going to Paris.
Yeah. You even flew your parents to France, right?
I flew my parents there. Never been out of the country before, ever. And I put my mom in, fast story, I put my mom in first class. And my mom, they put her in first class, and the flight attendants called me and started laughing. I said, what happened? He said, your mom's so cute. I said, what did she do? See, we gave her the menu, and then she said, is this free? Shout out to Mom Duke.
I'll tell you real quick, like before you tell them where they can find you, Cal. That's my number one goal, is to retire my parents and take them somewhere. It's like, look, just go.
I'm going to tell you this.
Everything's paid for. Everything's taken care of. Just go.
It's got to be an island.
Yeah.
It's got to be an island. Because when we went on vacation 2019, Nae and I went on vacation.
One of the best vacations
that blue
I've
water
had in my life.
When you see blue
when
water,
I went with them,
when you see blue water,
again.
Yeah, we got to do it again. It's life changing.
See, Cal's real responsible. I'm extremely spontaneous. Extreme, because that's just the way my job is. And I told Cal, I said, yo, you and Christy, come on, we about to go to let's go to DR. This is during COVID. This is like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
I can't. Fuck you mean you can't? Yes, you can.
Nah, this was October, November. It was October 2020,
still, what
October,
you mean you
November.
Can't? Yes, you can.
Right.
Your best friend's a pilot. We gonna make it happen. I get you the ticket. We out. Let's
like
go.
Money. I wasn't worried about the money.
He wasn't worried about the money. He just like, I got this to do. I got this. I said, bro, you might not even be here in another month to see those things through. Let's just go. And I give Cal credit. Cal's very calculated. You know your uncle.
Disciplined.
Very disciplined.
Disciplined. Yep.
But with me, and Jackie will tell you, she gets upset with this because like I'm very like. Tomorrow, somebody said, let's go to DR. Let's go. I'm very like, man, I don't know if let's just go. My life is very like, I live to the minute, not to the day.
Man, you can't get me to go to South Philly spontaneously.
Man, I'm not a planner.
Parking.
I'm not a planner.
Is food or whatever taken care of? All right, cool.
Yeah.
I was supposed to go to Ghana. Mike's in Ghana right. Shout out to Mike. Mike's in Ghana right now. Mike told me to go to. I talked to him on Sunday.
I can't even go to Upper Darby.
He said, go to the consulate and get your visa and come out here on Friday because I'm on vacation. He said, I got a crib here, come out. And I almost did it.
I can't even go to the
But that's life, bro. It's like, just go.
But sometimes you just got to go. But
so you tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram. My feed is through Instagram, Facebook. I'm private on Facebook. But if you go to Instagram, just type in Calvin Purnell. My name will come up. You can find me that way. Mindfully Speaking is my Instagram name. I'm open. I'm not private. I post a lot of Bible scriptures because I'm a Christian. I believe in God, and that's my faith walk. And I just keep it real. Like I try to keep it real and be as authentic as I can be. I mean, my job now gives me the opportunity to talk about the things they told us never to talk about at work, which is race, politics, sex, and religion. And I do that all day because I'm in diversity and inclusion and trying to make life better for everybody globally. And to me, it's important because of the way that I grew up dealing with race relations and racism, systemic racism, from the age of 6, 7 years old. It's very important for me. It's very important for me to make a difference in life and make life better for a lot of people. And we're laughing because somebody's snoring in the background.
We put them to sleep, Cal.
Put them to
Wrap
sleep.
that shit up, B.
But yeah, you can find me on Instagram. That's where the majority of my posts are, mindfully speaking. And if you want to be motivated, come there. You'll see me posting pictures, like I said, Bible scriptures. I'll see pictures of my squirrel friend that I have. Me riding my BMX bikes. I'm 45 years old. I'll be 46 soon. And yes, I still ride BMX bikes. And I have fun because that's my favorite pastime. That's my peace. That's my place of being.
Where can they find your books?
Oh, my books, they're out there. You can find them on Barnes & Noble. You can find them on Amazon. You can go to my website, cpspeaks.com, and find the books there. It's called, it's a series called Polished. The first book is Polished, A Young Professional's Guide for Success. The second book is Polished, Preparing for What's Next. The third book is going to be Polished. I'm not telling you what the subtitle is going to be for that. I know what it is, but I'm still working on that. And I will have supplemental videos that are going to come out soon. Chris, we need to get on that.
Yes.
Work on those supplemental videos. And it's based on career. Everybody can't be an entrepreneur. Everybody has it in them to be an entrepreneur, but everybody can't be. Everybody won't be an entrepreneur. I'll say that. It's not for everybody. So I'm talking to you from a sense of corporate life and how to navigate the corporate environment, corporate America, or corporate period, not corporate America, corporate period, how to navigate it, and also put you in a space of always educating yourself and putting yourself in a space where you're constantly learning. And it's very important. My topics that I talk about is mentorship. It's very important for you to always have a mentor, no matter what phase you are in your life. Is have mentors, because people are going to be out there that are willing to help you. If you're skeptical and asking people how can I get to this next level in my life, you find somebody who's doing the things that you want to do. It's just a question away. Hey, can you help me get there? I've been monitoring you, seeing the things that you've been doing. I'm interested in having a conversation with you. If that person tells you no, move them out the way, go to the next. Because there's always going to be somebody out there that's willing to help you. And that's it in a nutshell for me. Like I said, I on my social media, you'll find me. I'm not going to always have the right answers. I'm not trying to always have the right answers. It's just me being me, me being authentic. And, in corporate America now, a lot of companies are putting it out there. Come as you are, be your authentic self, be your true self. They want you to be that. And I was like, okay, cool. So now I don't have to cover anymore. I don't have to worry about coming into the office as corporate Calvin and being straight laced, this, that, and the other. I still have to conduct myself in a professional manner, but I still have the ability to be who I am.
That's good.
And that's what I love about the job that I have now. It's really speaking to my core values, because one of the things that I talk about a lot is when you get to a certain point in your life and in your career, you should get to a point where you're doing what you want to do, not what they want you to do. You should be able to tailor your career to who you are as a person, your core values, not the corporation's core values. And a lot of times you'll have the opportunities to have the ability to set yourself up to do the job that you want to do in that organization.
That's good.
Especially if you work for a global organization like I do. The opportunities are endless. Mm-hmm. It's just that you really just have to find the right people that can help you get there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and it's okay to ask for help.
Yeah, never be ashamed to ask for help.
It's okay to ask for help, man.
To be honest with you, like I ask for help, a lot of times, and I'll say this: there's been times where I didn't ask for help, but I would ask for it like through prayer, and God would give me the answer and putting certain people in my life, so this way I can look. I'll put this person in your life, learn from them, become a sponge, and learn everything that you can. And one of those people, minus you, has been my guy Zoe Williams. I talk about him damn near every episode, because if it wasn't for him, there would be no Smoking Sundays. Like, he really taught me how to produce and really put together my own show if I wanted to. So just piggybacking off of that. And for me, crispystudios.com, I don't have these for sale, but I'm thinking about it because it's been getting some good reviews, and some demand has been created to get these crispy jerseys. I do have Crispy Studios hats, snapbacks, and dad hats. They are available for pre-order, so go to crispystudios.com. I also have a podcast and production studio in LA. Go to icedreamfilms.com and book a studio session there, as well as post-production, because we have 2 editing bays. So if you want to, if you have a movie, if you have a show that you want to edit, hey, come to our spot. What else? Follow me on Instagram at Crispy Studios, at Cool Guy P, at Noir by Crispy. Everything will be under the screen. What else? That's it. And shout out to my lovely sister.
A sister.
She's my assistant and my sister. She's right there.
She was counting us down.
Shout out Harm Quality. She does graphic design as well. Enjoy your cigars responsibly.
Yes, sir.
This is a Pearson Jeffries Yacht Club. Shout out Pearson Jeffries out in Sea Cane, black-owned cigar lounge and cigar business, because they have their own cigars. And shout out Lit Torch app. Shout out Drobe Stogies. These are my home base of cigar lounges. And Lit Torch app. Like, Lit Torch app is it's an app for cigars and cigar culture. Black-owned app.
I'm on it.
I'm on it. Like I said, I don't get paid from those people. I just shout them out because these are the brands that I support, and I want to see them win. So
one last thing I want to say. It was mentioned that I work for a certain corporation, and what I'm bringing to the table today has nothing to do with them. This is all me. Mm-hmm. So these are my opinions, my ideas, my thoughts. It has nothing to do with that corporation at all. So
the views and comments of Smoking Sundays do not directly reflect the companies of.
That's why I didn't name my company.
Said company.
I didn't name my company. But shout out to my company. You know who you are. Yeah. It's an honor to put that uniform on, man. Y'all are just pioneers, and y'all are a very, very progressive company. Yes. And it's a pleasure being a black man and flying for that company. Shout out. I wish I could say your name, but I'm not going to do that. Like I said, because the views are my own. Yes. But very supportive, man. And yeah.
So with that being said, enjoy your cigars responsibly. Enjoy your whiskey with your cigars responsibly. Sit back, relax, and just be. I'm Cool Guy P, and we smoking Sundays. We out, baby.
Neighborhood lovers and fire hydrants in the summer. They're chilling with distant cousins and grilling soon as the sun up. This is for the tokens and the trans pass users with traveling minds, traveling lines, orange and blue ones. This is for the white tees, V-necks and Aki stands. This is for the local bodegas selling them poppy brands. For the cameras on corners, neighborhood watching, and the cops plotting on niggas that exhausted their options. For hot blocks and cold hearts, for co-defendants in the Fifth Amendment and niggas that don't talk. For worship services and the purpose of giving blessings. For every denomination teaching the same message.